Quickly, I do want to run through the rosters here for two Infinity Ambion versus Arcane on the side. Actually, you want to do two? You do your team the honor of the two Infinity Ambion?
Who are they again?
The Blues is blue side.
They're two Infinity Ambion?
Yeah, they've renamed themselves two Infinity Ambion.
I get it. Hey, I'm an Albion player, but I'm just kidding. That was a long time ago. But we do, so we just want to list their names right now?
Yeah.
All right, so we got Jin in the top lane. We got Berton in the jungle. Ooh. We got Experiment 626 in the mid lane, Okazaki as the AD carry, and Applause as the support.
And for the side of Arcane, we have Toxic Drag in the top lane, Cryogenics in the jungle, Do You Love It in the mid lane, GDF Joker on the bot lane role, and Forgiven as support. And what's super interesting is that I didn't realize they were named Arcane, but I actually know the roster for Red Side here. This is Toledo University's A team. I know a lot of these players. I've seen a lot of them perform. I was even there for their tryout sessions, giving feedback on like top lane and things like that. If you notice, Toxic Drag is playing top lane, not mid lane to what you might be used to.
Yeah, because I haven't seen them play in a while, but I do remember Toxic Drag. I don't know. I think I remember Forgiven. I don't remember Forgiven.
No, for you, I don't remember Forgiven. But quickly running through the pick bans here, we do have Veigar, Evelynn, and Nami being taken away from Arcane. We do have that Evelynn ban towards Cryogenics, that Veigar and D11, and Nami actually was not expecting against Forgiven, countered by the Camille, Silas, and Morgana bans. I was talking about how Morgana was taken away. But, I mean, we saw the Kaita first pick, followed by the Rakan. The Rakan Zaya is available.
Yeah, the Rakan, they did hover the Zaya really quick, but I think with the Rakan pick, they might not actually be picking Zaya right here. They might actually go for another. They probably are trying to look for whoever they're going to be picking as their own support to kind of counter that with their AD carry.
Yeah, I see no real reason why you wouldn't take Zaya Rakan here, or maybe if they want the Kog'Maw, the Shyvana. So that's going to be an AP Shyvana. Cryogenics really likes to play AP Shiv. So
maybe with the Rakan, though, you might go for a more aggressive. Maybe the Sivir actually might come out.
Well, no, I think that, so. I think like the strat here is that they're prioritizing the Shyvana. There's no risk of Zaya being taken now, right?
I see. Yeah, you are right.
So they took Rakan. So okay, we've guaranteed ourselves Zaya later. As long as they third pick it, they get it. And they took the Shyvana early before the side of TIA had the chance to pick it up. I don't know if Berton plays a lot of Shyvana, if they were really concerned about it being taken away. But they said that, hey, there's really no need for us to second pick Zaya. If there's a contested pick, we can just third pick it, picking that up as the Leona does come in. We were talking about how Leona is the counter.
And the Poppy. We also talked about this before as well. Poppy is getting a bit stronger as well.
Yeah. Again, the same idea as Shen. Tons of dueling potential. And there's the Zaya there on the third pick. So right now we do have them both mid laners on the table, as well as the jungle for the side of TIA and the top laner for the side of Arcane. Toxic Drag does play some, I believe does play some Aatrox and things like that. So curious to see what he takes. Curious to see what they ban against Jin. We saw the Urgot. We got to get some glimpses of that.
The Urgot was doing a lot. He did fall behind towards maybe somewhere in the early game, but that's not Urgot's strong point. And towards mid and late game though, he was a powerhouse. He was the tank. He was just going in, doing all the damage, taking all the hits.
The Xerath ban against. Oh wait, what am I talking about? Poppy was picked up. We were looking at Berton here. I'm not even paying attention here.
I mean,
could be Poppy jungle.
Yeah, that's because I did see Poppy jungle. I believe it was their team that did the Poppy jungle.
Oh, you know what? What was it? I can't remember if exactly.
Yeah,
it was.
It was. Their team did do it.
It is a flex pick.
It is a flex pick, but last game they did do the Poppy jungle.
So that being said, though, this makes more sense now because once you see a flex pick, unless there's a particular pick you don't want to risk happen anyway, you focus the other role. And so we have two bans coming on to Experiment 626, saying that, you know what, this Poppy could be top, could be jungle. Instead of wasting bans, let's just put bans on someone we know is going to be picking up next.
Ooh, the Shen got expanded, though.
And there's the Shen.
But we do, actually, interesting enough, though, last game we did see Experiment 66 play the Corki, though. So there is a chance that, since now the Corki is still open, he can definitely be picking that up, especially since they have a very aggressive team comp already for Team Arcane. So
I'm expecting Arcane to pick up a top laner here into Poppy, saying, you know what, we're going to last pick mid lane. There it is. There's the clutch. Every pick we've talked about, like almost everything. The only pick we didn't mention was the Camille.
And then the Shyvana.
Well, the Shyvana is more of a pocket pick for Cryogenics specifically.
I see. Okay.
I don't think Shyvana is really like a meta jungler. It's just someone who Cryo feels very, very comfortable.
Does he play as the AP Shyvana?
It is AP Shyvana.
It is AP Shyvana. It does do a lot of damage. Like, I'm always surprised every time I see the AP Shyvana.
Yeah, so she plays Evelynn as her main, and Shyvana is her next best.
I see.
Shyvana. So AP Evelynn, AP Shyvana. There's the Urgot. So like that is the flex pick Poppy. Urgot into Kled is interesting.
No,
I've
I
played this
do
matchup a
have
lot, too.
yeah, I do have to say that Urgot definitely actually is a lot better than Kled. Because Kled is only good for short engages. He's only good to do the high amounts of damage and then try to walk away. But Urgot cancels
there's
that,
Corki,
and there's the Corki. But Urgot definitely, I believe, will have a much more presence than Kled. Especially with the Poppy online. The Poppy online literally cancels Kled, Shyvana, and Rakan's engage. So already their team comp looks so much better in terms of, hey, you can come and attack us, but we're just gonna follow up with an even better attack.
The Talia. Talia's actually a good pick into Corki.
I have not seen Talia though in a long time.
Yeah, well, I mean, I have the. Unfortunately, I do play with the Reeves, so I do know about the Talia pick. It is a preferred pick into.
Wait, what do you mean, unfortunately?
Nah, I'm just kidding. I like playing with Reeves. Reeves is a good guy. No flame. Talia into Corki is not a bad matchup. However, one thing to note is like Syndra was on the table, and Corki is not a bad pick into Syndra either. But Syndra would have enabled them to sort of clean up their composition a lot more against the heavy engage you have coming out of the Leona and the Poppy. I do like to see like the flex pick Poppy. I think that was really smart coming out of TIA here. But talking through these drafts a little bit, you have the Urgot and the Kled, who honestly can go either way, right?
I actually like this. They're kind of like red themed. Like everybody in Arcane kind of looks red. Like all their champ icons.
I wonder if there's into with the red border on that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the Shen Yasuo Nami. Oh,
is there definitely Zera?
Brandon over here, Pegasus.
Actually, yeah, Zera's Shen literally just the pure blues.
The pure blues.
The pure blues.
But the Urgot and the Kled is super skill-based matchup, I feel like. I've played the matchup quite a bit. I don't know how you feel about it because we played on the opposite sides of it. But Urgot, if you get a lead, Kled can't do anything to you. And I think similarly, if you lose the lead, you can't do anything to Kled.
I want to say though that I think it's just gonna be a CS fest because the thing is Kled.
I think they're almost gonna be looking for fights.
Kled can definitely engage onto Urgot, but you have such a high risk. If you don't do enough damage to Urgot, you'll just be in return taking so much damage from Urgot with his W. If Kled dashes in, Urgot dashes back in with a shield. Like the shield helps so much. Kled doesn't have a shield unless he's ulting. So Kled right there is going to be taking a lot more damage than Urgot most of the time.
So I actually think that. I know you don't like taking it. No, actually, I think I see you running it now. But Conquer, I think you need Conquer in this matchup as Kled because.
No, I always take Conquer.
Yeah, I think you used to take PTA, right?
I took PTA against squishier champions.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
if it's a champion that doesn't have much choice but to re-engage onto me, then yeah, I'll take PTA.
Okay, yeah, because Urgot will always take Conquer. And if you have Conquer as Kled, then you can actually match some of the damage. Because the thing with Urgot is he procs Conquer super, super fast when he uses Purge because, instant auto is basically coming in there. But Urgot's super weak early on. Urgot is now a late game based champion. Also, he builds that stance and things like that. So I think Kled does have tools in his kit to deal with it. However, I've seen Toxic Dragon play Kled before. He doesn't build the way you might build. He goes for your standard black cleaver into Titanic, I think.
I have actually learned to stop doing Yomus in cases that I can't actually 1v1 the champion. And I do want to also add that so yes, Urgot is not as strong early game, but that doesn't really matter because he's a ranged champion. So he's not going to be but close to Kled in most cases. Kled has to be the one who has to go on top of Urgot. And if you're not careful with Kled, you will get counter ganked or not counter ganked. Sorry, you'll just get ganked. And since it's a Poppy, your escape has been completely sealed.
And that's another thing to talk about too, right? Is that Shyvana is really trying to rush that level 6 so she can actually get her AP burst down, whereas Poppy can look for a lot of initiation plays. And if Poppy were to camp, like let's say top lane, she can prevent Kled's escape, right? Because I think if you get your E canceled with Kled, you don't get the reproc.
Yeah, you don't get the reproc.
You don't get the reproc. Want to run quickly down through the mid lane as well is that these are two laners who shove constantly, Corki and Talia.
Yep.
But Talia wins here early on. Talia can take the complete priority and roam, but she has Shyvana jungle, so there's not really much to roam and rotate on. So
she has to be the one who starts to engage. If she can get the knockback onto Corki with her whatever the abilities called when she sprays her rocks all over the floor. Then the initiation starts. Shyvana can even just flash in, do a small combo, but she does still do a lot of damage early game with the EQ combo.
Right. I think Poppy Corki is pretty disgusting 2v2 situation.
I just want to say Poppy and like I haven't played Poppy in a long time, but every time I just keep thinking in my head Poppy, I'm like, but Poppy's so good.
She is so good.
Yeah, Poppy is the anti-engage champion. Literally her W just says to any champion that has a dash, you can't get through.
Not only that, but she gets consistent shields from her passive. She's super strong in duels. Her wave clear is not at all bad. She's pretty mana efficient. Quickly, what I'm talking about the bot lane as well as the Xayah Rakan of the Kai'Sa Leona. Yes, Leona does pretty well into the Rakan, but Xayah Rakan should win this 2v2, especially early on into the Kai'Sa Leona, who needs a little bit more time to come online. I do want to say compositionally, I prefer the side of TIA because they have a very good balance between AD and AP on their roster. They have the Urgot, but they have the AP coming out of the Corki and the AP coming out of the Kai'Sa. So it's going to be really hard for the side of Arcane to really mitigate a lot of that damage, as we have the standard NA pause coming in, giving us a little bit more time since we spent 2.5 minutes analyzing that top lane.
We also analyzed a good amount of the jungle too, because we were talking about how Shyvana.
Let's quickly look at the. So it is. Look at that. It's PTA Kled.
Okay, so it's PTA Kled, which means
he's going to lose a lot of these trades.
He's going to try early game to do a lot. I mean, he might be also focusing on trying to focus on Corki or the Xayah or Kai'Sa late game.
But the thing is like, anytime you so in my experience, anytime you have an Urgot versus Kled, it's never a short burst and runaway situation.
It's hard.
It's always hard engages because the other side's able to counter engage you. Like as Kled, if you have PTA, like you said, you're playing for early game, and every time you try to engage on Urgot, he can counter engage you pretty easily. Because the second you E in, he can time his E with it. So it's going to be pretty hard for him to actually like take those fights and hope to get the PTA proc and dash out.
I actually wanted to add this a while ago, is the fact that with Kled, he has no way to heal his HP unless you go lifesteal or even a I forgot Warmogs, but you never ever build Warmogs on Kled anyways. Right. The thing is like because Urgot can put pressure at level 3 on Kled to make him get off of Skarl. Once he's off of Skarl, he is just he's free game. This is the only negative I ever have when I'm playing Kled, but of course you have to learn to deal with it and get better at the game. It's just that once you're off, you have to minimize as much damage as you can before level 3, and to just do not get off of Skarl until level 3, because once you get off of Skarl, you can't use your dash.
Right.
You
lose your whole kit.
Yeah, you're only able to use 2 abilities, and that's just the main part. And the fact that he's going PTA, which means he won't get the health gain from Conqueror.
Right.
So he is definitely, and he also went Doran's Blade, which means he has to hit things to get HP back. So I believe he'll be going aggressive, but I also want to see what happens when he does. If he's just gonna lose all his HP, get off of Skarl, or there actually be maybe a turn, maybe actually will do more damage than Urgot can shield off.
Not only that, but I mean we do have to talk about skill disparities are a true factor, right? Not that Toxic Dragon's a good player. Played with him many times, probably in the mid lane, but he's mechanically very proficient. However, he is plat 1 right now to, I believe, Jin's Grandmaster. So that there is that skill disparity that's undeniable. There's no way you can say, oh yeah, but I mean high elo tournament, whatever.
Oh, but we do have the level 2 gank coming in though from the Poppy. Poppy trying to get the engage on, but the flash does come from Rakan. Rakan will be surviving this engage.
See, interestingly enough, Okisaki didn't go for the 5th proc to get that second skin off on Xayah there. And here we do have, look at that. See, that's the thing. He's forcing Toxic Drag to play just around the bare necessity health before he gets off of Skarl.
I would have rather have went Doran's shield, because you're going to be taking so many hits from Urgot. Right. See, and right there, see, he's already close to getting off of Skarl. What's he going to do with this? With nothing. So he's definitely not in a good spot right now already at level 2. And
he's already used his health pot. And Urgot still has 1 proc of Corrupting Potion left, along with Biscuits he's going to be getting consistently.
He went utility. It's so good.
Yeah, and that's what you do on Urgot. You take Conquer and you take utility on it. You take boots. You take the not fleet forward, the tier 2 or not tier 2. The speed boots.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, such good poke coming out of D11 onto Experiment 626 there as well. So I mean, a lot of it is going to be on the top side there, but you take the approach velocity typically and the boots. But I think, whoa, a little bit aggressive.
So a bit aggressive right here. Here comes so Toxic. Actually, Jin, I would have rather have Jin. But he does get the first blood. I would have actually. asked him to wait a little longer for that dash until until he got off of Scarl, because I was actually a bit worried when he did that.
Yeah.
But definitely going to get. Oh, and then a re-engage though coming from the Poppy, going on to Joker right now. Joker getting pretty low. Joker does have actually no, I already used Flash to get away.
Comes down.
And Joker has also already used heal. But
you do have to give props to GDF Joker and Forgiven for the fact that they've been absorbing a lot of pressure from Burton, and they haven't died over it, and they're up CS. Right, so really the side of Arcane's bot lane coming in really, really strong here. But they have to play a little bit careful. Poppy is roaming up onto Do You Love It here as the TP
we do have the TP though coming from Kled right here. But Kled might be a little too late for the Shyvana. Experiment 66 and get it hooked though. The Parachop does come in, and now we're gonna get all the couple of hits. Do You Love It does get Experiment 66 right there after getting a lot of those final hits. We do have the Leona engaging on top of I think it was Forgiven. Yep, Forgiven. Pretty low right now though. Gonna be trying to get a couple hits on the Okazaki before he might have to fall. Applause does get the small dash and might be able to survive. Kled though gonna get the last hit off of his W onto Jin right there. Experience 66. Don't know why he had the TP right there though. Is going to be.
The seismic shove out of Talia was so good there.
Definitely not the best TP coming from Experiment 66 right there.
A lot of TPs though. That was all 3 TPs.
I definitely would have said he should have TP'd onto the top tower instead of in the middle of all 3 members of Arcane. So definitely going to be a bit behind now.
Yeah, super aggressive play coming out of Arcane, looking for that invade onto the blue there from the cryogenics call. But, I mean, we have to talk about the fact that Arcane came out on top of that, though. Right?
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
They not only did they win the fight in the jungle with Do You Love It picking up 2 kills on the Talia, which is going to be pretty disgusting. But actually, no. It was TIA that won the bot lane fight because they got the kill on Forgiven.
I do want to give props to Applause who put a lot of pressure onto Joker, actually more on Forgiven. Like Forgiven was already at I would say maybe 10% HP right when he was close to the enemy tower. He was definitely too far in. Applause even got away after dashing onto Forgiven.
Yeah, and Xayah was not able to set up feathers at all that fight to get a root onto anyone. So like you mentioned, the spacing that Okazaki and Applause were doing to make sure to prevent the situation was really, really good. And if you notice, look at this, Kled has actually rushed the Ninja Tabby because he's so scared in his lane now. So not only did he build this aggressive PTA rune, but he's forcing defensive in lane, so now he's just at an overall total disadvantage.
Yeah, because he already felt it. Like yes, he did get a kill and 2 assists from that fight down or up at top, but he does know he cannot engage onto Urgot because Urgot is not only is he tanky, but he also does a significant amount of damage. And once you get off of like I said, once you get off of Scarl, like you're so vulnerable.
Yeah, and Urgot is all auto, so I agree with the Ninja Tabby build, but I think he should have been more cognizant, like you mentioned, in Champ Select, and knowing that Gone Conquer, because you are planning on playing more from the late game potential, looking for team fights, you're not going to be focusing on Urgot in those team fights. Ideally, if you can, obviously, you're either going for Corki or going for Kai'Sa. But
you already know that there's a Poppy in the field anyways, and the Poppy is
and Leona.
So you cannot stop his dash when he's in his ult, but you can stop his E, and that's how he actually gets onto AD carries after his ult. So,
but it's also important for Poppy because if you waste steadfast presence on the Kled ultimate, you can't cancel the dash, which is the thing to know. Right? You don't cancel multiple dashes; you can cancel one. So if Burton doesn't time it properly and waste it on the Kled ultimate, maybe he doesn't know about the fact it's uncancelable or something like that, that's going to be a pretty big deal.
I'm saying that Kled's ult, you can't cancel it.
That's what I'm saying.
It's unstoppable.
But it'll proc the steadfast, it'll proc the Poppy W.
Okay.
So Poppy's W will try and cancel the Kled ult. Obviously it doesn't work, but if Kled E's after that, because it already procced on the ultimate, it'll go through. So
no, because I don't think that's how it works, because I don't think it even considers it as knock upable.
It tries. It does. It does. It tries, but then Kled's, the little text comes up saying not stoppable or something like that.
I see. Okay.
So it'll be blown on the Kled ultimate.
I see.
Kind of like Scion.
Yeah.
Things Scion, with Scion ultimate, it'll still try, but it can't stop it.
Yeah. Definitely. So his E actually would not be canceled. So I hopefully the Poppy knows this and will be able to play around that. We'll just have to see later in the game.
So that's definitely something to look for as we have the game, the resume coming in. I think a little bit of mouse issues. Right away, a fight breaking down.
We do get the smite.
Secures it though. However, this Do You Love It's really strong right now. He's got
he is also level 6 compared to Corki's level 5.
yeah, no missiles on Corki just yet. Do you love it? Could have walled it off, but into the Corki doesn't really do
We're
much.
also having the only person on TIA who actually has levels up is Jin on the top lane. Everybody else is kind of struggling to get their XP up.
Yeah, if you look at the gold for just a second here, and actually surprisingly, Kled's still up just a little bit of gold from those 2 assists he has in his pocket. But look at that 800 gold lead in the mid lane at 7.5 minutes in. Right, that 800, that is the prime. That is basically all of that 500 gold difference we're seeing between the teams right now. So really curious to see how he chooses to itemize that going forward. We do have the BF swords on both AD carries here. So, you know, they are both looking for aggressive plays. I'm surprised to see Kai'Sa take on the BF sword, not going for the
what we do?
Commander Man.
Jin though missing the dash onto
Pretty
Toxic though.
quick feet from Toxic there, actually. Put
Yeah.
that pretty well. Could have been very bad for him.
Jin though not losing a lot of HP in that small
Procs
little.
corrupting potion too, though, right? Like he has that sustain that Toxic doesn't have, and even in the fights, that Conqueror's gonna let him heal up quite a bit there.
Now the risk about Urgot though, and especially in lane, is the fact that he always forcefully pushes lane.
Yeah, he has AoE clear.
Yeah.
However, Toxic Drag is actually pushing, like, it's breaking any possible free setup he has for himself.
Yeah, it is pretty good. We do have the Poppy recalling right now. Still only level 5, but we do have Cryogenics who did hit level 6 a couple ago.
Joker does not have 6 though, so that Feather Storm from Xayah is very, very important to note. Yes, it's a little bit nerfed, a little bit longer cooldown, 20-second increase in the cooldown, but it's not too big of a deal in the grand scheme of things here. It's not like it makes or breaks any plays. Usually abilities getting nerfed in cooldowns is what you watch out for more, not the ultimate. You can learn to play on that pretty well here. I am surprised to see we're not seeing more roams from Do You Love It coming in yet. He has at level 6. He has the super strong lead. He should be trying to force a play on the bot side of the map.
Has he gone back yet, though? If he hasn't gone back yet, I would say that that's the reason why. It's because he doesn't have the potential items to... Yeah, he's sitting on 1K.
Gold,
yeah, he's sitting on 1K. So he needs to go back and buy something before he can start doing roams. We do have Experience 66 though coming here at bot lane. They don't know that he's here, and I think he has package too. Since he's glowing like that.
Yeah, he does have package available, so it's 3-man play.
Yeah, Joker
here.
though gonna be engaged on right here. Does have all gonna be using it right here. Forgiven though is gonna be getting a shot pretty low. Experience 66 finishing off with the I believe it was the ult. But we do have the feathers coming down onto Okazaki. Pause is gonna engage onto Joker right here. Does have to pop the flash, but we'll get does have to pop the heal for Okazaki. We'll get finished off, but Okazaki going on Joker and actually finishes off right before the Doyle gets the final hit onto Okazaki.
Joker canceled so many autos in that fight. There were so many moments where he could have put down 2, 3 autos, and he canceled every single one of them. The W attack speed stare on Xayah is super disgusting. So I'm really shocked that that play went down the way it did, and not more in the favor of Arcane, who still did end up coming out on top of that play. I think it was a little bit too forced on the side of TIA.
We got Burton though, going to be engaged. Cryogenics, just half HP, doesn't even have Dragon Form right now. 66 going to be chasing on. We do have the ult coming down from Burton. But you also had to pop the flash for that as well. Kind of not the best option, I want to say.
Yeah, they did manage to stop the dragon from make sure that they didn't get that mountain drake for the side of Arcane. One thing to note is you with the Kai'Sa.
We do have the TP though coming from Toxic Dragon. It's not a good position right now. Okazaki kind of out of his way. We do have the all coming in, and yeah, Okazaki definitely will get finished off by Cryogenics in that small fight.
Yeah, that does guarantee the dragon. They're kind of surprised Jin didn't respond with a TP via zone. I think they would have won that fight with the Urgot ultimate if they'd committed to it. However, choosing not to look for that play, saying, you know what, we're fine giving up the Mount Drake. Let's try and get some more gold onto Urgot's pocket. But look, Do You Love It? Rotating up to the top side of the map to make sure that Urgot can't get too much. And what a beautiful size
he's going to take at least one turret shot right here. And Diolet's going to try getting the chase on. Jin taking a lot of damage. He does engage though onto Doyle-Vet trying to potentially get the ult in, but gets burned down too fast. And we do have the engagement with Cryogenics. He does turn into the dragon, does do a lot of splash damage with that fireball, applying a bit more takes, just sitting in that little bubble.
I mean, what a waste of flash, though, on the top side from Jin there. There was no way he was going to live through that. No need for him to try and find a cheese initiation, especially when he doesn't have any of his items yet. Yeah, his Black Cleaver now, but Urgot doesn't really get strong until you have Black Cleaver, Death's Dance, and Frozen Mallet. You need all 3 of those items before you're really super strong. And once you get Death's Dance completed, you can definitely do more. You can 1v1 Kled 100%, especially because Kled's not going to be building that, the lifesteal. But until you get Frozen Mallet, it's so hard to look for those plays because you just don't have the stats. You don't have the health for those plays. But man, the spacing Do You Love It did there, oh, that was so good.
Yeah, Toxic Drag actually now hitting blue buff right now. We might be able to see something coming right here, though. We do have Jin coming from the back right here. Toxic Drag going to be dashing through Jin, but will not get the return. Doylevet right here, though, trying to steal the blue buff. Does actually steal the blue buff. Applause warding, seeing Toxic Drag right here. Doylevet now with the blue buff going to be doing a lot of stuff happening. A lot of stuff here in mid lane.
Oh man, and look at that. We actually see an amplifying tome coming out of Do You Love It as well. I'm wondering if he chooses to finish the Luden's Echo here, and it was just because of the gold back timing. What, Do You Love It?
Yeah, Do You Love It. I didn't actually realize
Doya. Yeah, at first I used to call him Doya, and then I was like, oh wait, it's Do You Love It. Oh, that makes sense now.
We do have Jin, though, engaging onto Toxic. Like I said, they're doing a lot of damage right here. I think Jin also has all. Toxic. Oh, here comes the ult, and he draws him in.
There it is. There's that beautiful execution.
And like I said, Urgot.
Do You Love It? Road trying to find the play here. Ult does come in.
Oh, but Jin does miss the dash once again. Jin gonna be engaged on, but we do have Burton right here gonna be engaging back onto Doylevet. Doylevet getting pretty low right here, getting an ult on, having to pop barrier, but does have to bring out. Does get Jin right here, and here goes a fireball. Will be finishing off.
The turn play. Arcane is doing so well at these rotations. Oh man, that seismic shove, definitely underestimating Do You Love It's damage there. Burton tried to go in for that committed play. He doesn't even have a completed jungle item yet. So yes, he has the Merc Treads, yes.
But he doesn't have the damage at all.
He has no damage yet. He has all of his damage basically coming in from Cinderhulk there. The barrier from Do You Love It was also
we do have Toxic, though, ulting onto Applause right here. Applause going to be taking a lot of damage. The turret shot's going to be going on Okazaki, though. They just really want to get this turret. Toxic, though, I have to back up right here. Going to be off of Scarl. Going to be re-engaged on. Going to be, and Okazaki will be able to finish him off. Mid tower does, though, fall down with Rift Herald as it continues.
Yeah, but TIA actually found the tower first. So they actually managed to pick up the first
tower. But here comes the second mid tower as well. Yeah. And we're also going to get a hit on with Rift at mid. Unless somebody can stop it. But nope, here comes Rift, though, going to be coming in, doing a lot of damage to that mid tower. We do have a Poppy getting popped.
Poppy did indeed get popped. And really,
we need it. Yep, that Rift tower does get finished off.
We still have Jin trying to look for the tower, but Urgot is not a champion that can, take towers very quickly. They don't even have the Mountain Drake to do the damage. It's actually Arcane that picked up that Mountain Drake earlier on. So, really, I mean, a little questionable having Jin, on the bot side of the map there. They knew that the play was coming in.
Oh, we do have Jin, though. We're going on to Toxic Drag. Dr. Drag trying to see if we can do a lot of damage to Jin.
Really,
but like
really
I said, though, Jin doing a lot of damage to Toxic. Toxic getting pretty low. Here comes the ult. I think that ult actually hit the wrong champion, though. And it actually hit Forgiven right there, and Toxic will be able to survive.
So, I think this is a little bit of maybe inexperience in the matchup. The best time to use Urgot ult against Kled is the second he gets
off of Scar. Yeah, yes. because his max health literally just dropped.
Not only that, but Kled can't buffer the Q fast enough when he gets off of Scarl. Where he's going to land. Yeah. So that's when you should ult right away. I think holding it was a little bit greedy from Jin there. He held it so long where Khan had time to block it, come in and go for the block play there. So definitely a huge factor there. We do have the Ninja Tabbies coming out of Urgot now as well. However, there's a lot of AP damage, 6-0 Talia and 3-0 AP Shyvana. So a lot of their damage is actually magic damage right now.
It's going to be definitely rough to deal with those two. I did say that they should definitely worry about the champions who have very large dashes, but it looks like the AP champions might be a bit more of a problem. So Poppy may have more issues with that. Do you love it, though, blocking the path to get into River?
At this point, it's scary for Poppy, right? Like you're mentioning, is because she's going to get 100-0, right? It's not a situation you typically anticipate as Poppy. So, I'm super tanky. I can tank through all this, do super well. But look at the CS deficit in the jungle.
Burton and Jin, though, going to be engaging onto Do you love it? Do you love it, though? That does have to flash away. Burton right here, though, taking a lot of damage with that fireball. We do have Toxic thing in that top lane right now. And also going to be TPing into mid
look at
lane.
that damage.
He might be... Yep, he pops the ult. Here comes the charge as he goes down. Going to be hitting Applause right here. I keep saying her name. Cryogenics going to be finishing off. Applause right there. Jin going to be taking down... Burton going to be dashing in, trying to see if he can get the stun, though, but will also fall. The only one left alive is Okazaki and Experiment 626. Experiment 626 trying to see if he can get some of that rocket damage in right now, but looks like the fight will pause.
And really, I think we've been sort of disappointed so far from the performance out of Burton on the Poppy. I think we were expecting a lot more early aggression. And he did try. He tried to look bot lane, but it was always unsuccessful. And I think he committed too hard to a lane that's super safe. It's so hard to hard engage onto Xayah Rakan. There's such a super safe lane. Rakan offers so much for their team utility-wise, the lane utility-wise, and Xayah, having the root and so many play potentials off of that as well. I understand the mentality of, with steadfast presence, Poppy can deny the knock-up out of Rakan, or sorry, the dash out of Rakan. But that's just not the way it worked out, and we see their efforts are going in vain. And the farming Shyvana now up 50 CS on Poppy.
Yeah, not just that, 5 kills as well.
Yeah, look at the gold difference.
3K, around 3K.
3K
for jungle.
in the jungle, that's insane.
And around 3K as well as in mid lane.
The same gold difference basically in between both the jungle and mid lane here, and that's really where all the action has been.
But Okazaki does have over a K on top of the enemy AD carry, meaning that there is still a chance for Okazaki to bring back the game. It's just a matter of how they play it now. They at this point, they have to play defensively. Even though
and around Kai'Sa, like you were doing, it is all about this sort of Kai'Sa at this point. And also, one thing to note is Kai'Sa has not gone AP, right? We don't have the Manny Moon building coming in with the Zhonya's or the Luden's Echo on top of that, like a lot of Kai'Sas are going right now. He went full on AD. He's going to be taking the Blood Razor Storm Razor into Gwynso's Rage Blade, and probably going to be followed by an IE on top of that. So definitely going to be a huge DPS threat in his team fights if he's able to scale those items in. Right now, that is their win condition is, hey, we need to make sure Okazaki can get online. That means put him in a side lane, let him CS. You don't want to be contesting, objectives here. The Kai'Sa should be mid lane right now CSing.
I do want to say, too, that the Shyvana, Cryogenics has not built a single, defensive item, not even maybe
just full AP.
Yeah, just full AP. So
and Nashers too. I was expecting the Nashers.
Yeah, so Cryo is strong damage-wise, but if he can get picked out by the group before he can even turn Dragon, he can get shut down before he even turns into Dragon, or she can turn into Dragon. So it's all about that. How are they going to be able to play this? But of course, Cryo can definitely, whenever she feels like it, can just turn into Dragon form, do a ton of damage with the Fireball.
Yeah, from a distance, I think the biggest thing is, right, she doesn't need to actually get close. All she has to do is make sure that she is closer to land the Q. And the range is pretty...
See, and I like what Jin does right here is that he's just so aggressive because he knows he can still be toxic.
100%.
Yeah, it's insane to think about that, even though Kled has shown more... I guess
team play,
kill participation. Yeah. But in the end, Urgot still he does consistent damage, which
with Conqueror.
Yeah, which beats out a Kled that not only defensive item is the tabbies. Yeah,
shared, but both of them though too, right? They both have tabby.
So, I think after Urgot builds what's the item that he builds right now?
Death Stance.
Death Stance.
He definitely has to be building Death Stance next, and he does have the Caulfield's Hammer and long
So after Death Stance, that's when he starts building tank, right? He starts building...
He gets Frozen Mount, so kind of tanky. Yeah, so it's still damagey, I'd say, but it beats him up. Typically, you'll see Urgots take Frozen Mallet after Death Stance, and that's just to make sure you have an infinite slow.
I think he's going to build an MR item afterwards, though, because...
Yeah, he might go for a Spear Visage or something. A lot of them will go GA, Guardian's Angel.
Guardian Angel's an armor item, though.
It's an armor item. It's no longer, obviously, forever ago is when it used to be MR. I think it still works into their team comp, also because of the fact that Urgot is most likely going to be playing split push.
Okay.
We're probably not going to be seeing him in team fights.
Yeah, he is spot lane right now.
Their goal is to... So the only person really power farming right now is Urgot, who's trying to catch up in CS, and you need Kai'Sa to be catching on most of these waves. We see Kai'Sa mid lane here. Baron has been up for a minute and a half now, and we do see Arcane positioning towards it. No commitment just yet. Their Baron clear time is actually not that great.
Oh, Experiment 66 is his Rockies are not. He's tickling.
Yeah, they have
but right there though, like right, what I said about Cryo though, he has no he has no defense.
Baron does get started up though.
They do have Mountain Drake, so it will get taken out.
TP on Argot available as well
at a good time. Yeah, but Jin's still just pushing bot lane. He actually might get inhib though at this time. Oh no, here comes the TP though coming from Jin. The engage Baron does go for red team though. Forgiven engaging onto Okazaki. Okazaki doing a lot of damage. Oh, but Cryogenic's gonna get the fireball on top of Okazaki, and we'll also be finishing off Burn right here. Jin though here to try to get at least Toxic Drag, but will be finished off as well. And we do also see Applause getting finished off by Do You Love It? Do You Love It? Chasing onto Experience 66. Overall, it doesn't look good for
there was
TIA.
almost no target focus coming out of TIA in that fight. They all went for like different members of that fight.
I think the reason why though is because Toxic Drag did ult right as they were coming in, so he did split the group just with his own presence.
Yeah, but they were left in a situation where Urgot was somehow eating all of Joker's autos, and that's not a situation you want to be in at all. We do now have a second Mountain Drake, probably going to go over the side of Arcane, as Toxic Drag has started that up. And now you have a 7-0 AP Shyvana and an 8-0 Talia.
I do feel like they should just let Jin push the bot wave to potentially get an inhib compared to what that fight. Because they were already, like, they're 2 behind to do team fights.
Also, like, Corki was positioned to the top side of the fight, right? So he was zoned off of that fight, couldn't get in. Whereas Okisaki Applause just went all in. She went all in. Burton couldn't even get to the Baron, and you had Kled engage onto Kaisa, Poppy on the side. Jin tried to find the TP play, but it was just all so scattered. Whereas from Arcane, man, they were focusing that fight down really, really, really well.
Burton was trying to actually outsmite Cryogenics right there, but Cryogenics like already right when Baron hit Cryogenics, I was kind of like, you guys gotta leave. You cannot.
The 3-level deficit, like you're gonna get outs. Like the smite damage is gonna be so much higher for Cryogenics. You know, also AP Shyvana has really good execute damage. Like, you know, she can it's much easier to execute off of. Burton has nothing to execute with, so he just has to like pure skill smite and have basically hope that Cryo doesn't smite the Baron in time, where it gets low enough for Burton smite to be in range, which is just like you mentioned, a losing play. No reason to look for that play. At that point, their main goal was try and force them off the Baron, like poke and harass with Corki and things like that, and let Jin and sort of prevent them from going back for Jin. And let him go for the.
Applause gonna see do you love it right here, and gonna be engaging out to Toxic though. Toxic just gonna dash away, not taking too much damage.
Yeah, they can't even commit to this fight because they actually don't know where Rakan is, right? They didn't know what the numbers looked like there. They didn't have Jin for that play, and Jin doesn't have TP anymore. The only TPs on the map available right now are Corki and Kled.
Yeah, interestingly enough, the Kled actually went sweeper as well, so that's 3 sweepers for Team Arcane, meaning that they're literally just eliminating any ward presence at all. On any side of the map, like they took over blue side, like they took over all of TIA's jungle with wards.
And also, like, TIA has 0 wave clear, right? The only wave clear they have, unless here where you're allowed to get to the caster, is always like Urgot can clear pretty well, Corki can clear pretty well. But in a situation where they're actually like zoning them off of the wave, they have no sense of wave clear here. So like now, when we see Talia and Kled push his bot lane in, no one's gonna be able to stop this.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you have 3 on the top. Like, this is a beautiful like split, 3-2 situation they have set up here. Ideally, I think you want to run 4-1 and not 3-2, but it can still work. They have to wait 30 seconds for the next wave to crash here. I do want to see Talia rotate up. Yep, so we do see Talia going mid lane, leading the wave in, send Kled back to the bot lane here. If Corki matches Kled, they have no wave clear on top side. They should just let the cannon push it in. Is Baron worn off already? That's kind of.
I do also want to say though, like, you cannot let either Experiment or Okizaki die early. Their whole team comp revolves around those 2. Jin as well, but Jin is more of the tanky, I'll finish anybody off that you guys can't finish off. Compared to, I mean, Arcane has 4 carries on their team. Forgiven is just there to start the fight, but even now he doesn't need to be the one to start the fight. Like, we have the Shyvana who can immediately turn Dragon into half health with just 1 fireball.
Which is what they need to be looking to do right now. We should see Shyvana ulting top
Yeah,
side
like right here, like here comes the fight at the top lane. Shyvana can just ult right. Oh yeah, Kled immediately ulting on top of Burton right here. We do have the engage coming in from Applause. Applause seeing that she can't really, there's no follow up, will be burned down right here. But we do see a Joker also finishing off Applause. But we do see the engage coming in from Jin. Jin just finish off Toxic Drag in that fight. Somebody else died from TIA. The engage coming from Experiment 66 on the Joker, not really doing too much right there. And that is game. Still four members of Arcane is still alive. We'll be pushing down the Nexus turrets, and we'll be finishing off this game for game 1 of 3.
Yes, and pretty one-sided too, right? We had such high expectations of Jin saying, "Oh, this is a favored matchup." Especially because the PTA
too much top bias from us.
Maybe, but like realistically, that's also where their star player is, right? They have this Grandmaster top laner who you're expecting to see, perform really, really well in a Toxic Drag, but we didn't really see too many leads coming in. Yes, he pressured top lane a little bit. We saw Poppy hard pressuring the bot lane, not able to find too much of it. But I think the key takeaways are definitely you had top lane set up for success, and you didn't find the success, and the jungle, like it was just. Cryogenics just did so much more than Burton that game. Like, Burton tried. Like, it's not like he didn't try. He just wasn't able to find success. He put so much pressure onto the bot lane there. Like back-to-back games.
I definitely want to say that top fight where it all went down in the very beginning. That literally started their downfall. The engage from Experience 66, and then he died. Coming back, immediate TP back into all three of the members.
Super scattered.
Yeah, that
was
very poor play. That actually started their downfall.
Also, when Kled TP'd into the Dragon play and Jin didn't, that was another really big moment.
Yeah, I can see why Jin wouldn't go into that. There are times when, like, if the enemy top laner is TPing, you can just tell the team, hey, fall back. We don't need this dragon. Let me push top lane. But it didn't really happen that way. It was more like.
I think what's scary though is that it's Kled. So the second the Kled TP's in, you can expect a charge to come in, right? And there's nothing you can do to cancel it. And that's what we saw happen. Kled TP'd in and instantly charged on a Poppy who got picked off. You lost your jungler, and now you're down a kill. You have no chance of contesting this Baron at all, this Dragon at all, and Urgot doesn't take tower, like, plays the fastest. He can, but like, he does a decent job, but
especially because you're not going resolve, right? You
don't have demolish. You're never gonna have demolish.
Yeah, you never have demolish. So you're only doing small, like, consistent damage compared to
And also, like, their comp scales, like, later on, right? Like Corki, Kaisa, they don't have, like, the early game threat. So the call might have been, hey guys, we don't win early game, we need to scale. But they didn't really take time to prioritize, okay, our win condition is to scale. We have 3 scaling lanes, which I think that's a whole different issue. They had a winning lane in the top lane, but it's not a power lane. Like, you still need items on Urgot. Yes, Urgot can always 1v1 Kled, but until you get items, you can't take over the game, right? You see me like we play Urgot jungle, which is something I play a lot of. You're not able to, again, take over game until you hit that Black Cleaver, Death Stance, and Frozen Mallet power spike, because at that point you can just run anyone down, you just take over the game, it's fine and whatnot, but you have no pressure in any of their lanes to make up for that. Corki gets out pressured by Talia, Kaisa takes a while to come online, whereas Zaya is strong right off the bat. So I do think they lost a lot of pressure in draft, especially with the Poppy, because they had no real priority anywhere.
I mean, because the thing about their comp was, like, we already knew it was going to be focused around Experiment 66 and Okazaki because they were going to be the top 2 damage on their team.
Right.
But the only issue was that, Okazaki was actually ahead of the enemy bot lane, but in the end of things, like, even the tanks weren't tanking enough to take damage. So Okazaki had no wall.
And the problem was like, it wasn't like Joker wasn't doing damage, right? Because in the fight, when Jin TP'd from the bot tower into the Baron play, he got destroyed by Joker. Joker was the one putting tons and tons of damage down onto him. Here as we do. We're going to check out the graphs real quick.
Yeah, show me those bars.
Yeah, the
bars. But look at Jin. Like, he still did damage. Like,
definitely, he was the one who was set up for success through draft. Like, it was the Urgot and the Kled matchup. He had the winning lane. Every other lane was losing. I think at that point, I really honestly would have liked to see Poppy have pressured top a little bit more. Like I mentioned, you can prevent the Kled escape. You can focus on getting Urgot ahead. Because the
Urgot was actually playing it more aggressive. Like, he was actually pushing into the enemy tower. So I think they wanted the Poppy to focus more on the mid and bot lane.
Well, actually, Toxic Drag was pushing quite a bit. Remember, we were talking about this in lane phase, is where
he did start pushing when he got ahead, because there was that period of time after the top lane massacre that he started pushing but he never actually fully engaged though, because he knew he couldn't beat Jin in the 1v1. But I do want to say, though, that I also, from my own personal experience, when I was playing with the Plaza and Experiment 66, the usual focus for the jungler in their team comps is usually to get either bot ahead or mid ahead. And and top tries to just kind of fend for themselves until mid to late game.
Yeah, I think in this particular game, the best call would have been to have him focus top, because Urgot was the one who was set up for success there. Once you get Urgot ahead and he can 1v2 and get strong, whatever, you can then look to rotate that lead into mid or bot through TP plays. Because then even if, Kled matches a TP with Urgot, you're just going to win the fight, because one fear means a one team fight, right? The thing with Urgot is that fear is so powerful. It's so much CC, such long duration, where if you manage to get it off, it can change a team fight. But at no point did it execute go off. We only saw Urgot ult go off once, like in the top lane. That was like the only point it actually.
I would say around twice. Definitely twice.
Maybe, but like not like 5-6 times as it should have been.
Yeah, it definitely, because it was definitely hard, because the fact that with Urgot you had the potential to either finish off anyone else but Toxic Draft. Like, you could have finished off Do You Love It, Cryogenics, or Joker. The only issue was, like, they just could not get close, because they would just get slaughtered before they could get close.
Yeah, because you had, again, that AP Shiv, AP Talia just
the AP Shiv, like, every fireball was doing at least 30% HP on everybody.
All right. So, going into next game, though, right, what changes can we expect to see from the? I think you can't let the.
It's either gonna be no Poppy.
So the ban, aside from TIA, they banned away Shyvana, Evelyn, Nami, and the third band's escaping me.
I don't remember.
They had one other band coming in, and it wasn't even noteworthy, I guess. Would you still ban the Evelyn and also ban Shyvana at that point? Because the AP Shyvana was creating way too much space for them. I think you can drop the Nami ban. I would say drop the Nami ban. It's not as big of a deal.
Yeah, because the thing was, like, even though they dropped the Nami ban, they immediately went Zyra Khan. So there was, it was kind of.
Yeah, there's no, like, in the meta of Caitlyn Morgana, Sivir Yumi, and Zyra Khan, like, I don't see any real priority in the Nami. I mean, it's not like, I think they should. I don't know what the side selection is for next game, but I do expect to see the Nami being let through, and either the Talia or the Shyvana being taken away. I think Shyvana makes more sense. I think you need to try and let Burden find some pressure somewhere, and also don't play the Poppy again. The Poppy is strong, yes, but take something that actually does more early game.
That definitely is. I do want to say that is true. I want to say that the flex pick was good, but then they started picking way too much damage for Poppy to handle. So, yeah, definitely maybe pick up the Sejuani instead. I don't know if I want to go for the Shyvana ban. Yes, the fireballs are dangerous, but I also feel like as long as she's not ahead, the only reason why she even got to the point in game where she was is because she got ahead very early. So she was able to just funnel that and go straight ham. But I want to say that I want, let's see. Not the Kled. Maybe the Talia, because I want to say that Experiment 66, in terms of his pool, maybe go try to reduce as many control mages he can't handle. Making it more easier for him in the mid lane.
All right.
Yeah, like, because I wouldn't focus on top lane either, because I think Jin definitely has enough game sense to know, like, what he should be playing in his pool is large. I know that, like, we talked about it. Like, his pool is pretty big. But yeah, I want to say focus more towards the lanes that do struggle. Mid lane, maybe even the jungle. Maybe let's see, an 80 carry you just cannot handle. I could definitely say, since we did see the Kai'Sa and Xayah, you could easily just ban the Xayah and make them force and then first pick the. Actually, they won't be first pick this time around though. I definitely will say that Morgana will get banned again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
But
because they get first pick.
So, all right. We're curious to see what happens game number 2. Hopefully, we see a return from TI. I always like going to game 3. But with that, we're going to take a quick break, try and get the second game set up, give players a break, talk over.
Get some water.
Let us cast get some water. It's very warm in here. So with that, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Don't touch that browser.
It's hard to live up to smartest when you have to step in for the color. Yeah, we will be moving into Champion Select any moment now, just waiting for everyone to get at the computers, drop those ready symbols, and then we will be all good to go. Okay, moving into Champion Select. We'll see the Silas get banned out. We've seen a lot of Silas presence today. Definitely don't want to have to worry about the variety of ultimates that could be coming through in that game. Followed up by the Vagar. Welcome back, Curry.
So I believe they switched.
Yeah, it looks like there was swapping on sides selection. I believe that
Oh, we do have the Morgana getting banned again though from Arcane, and with the Camille and Silas. So actually the same 3 bans, but we do get the Shyvana ban.
yeah, do get that Shyvana band. It was an AP style Shyvana, correct?
Yeah, it was AP. It was AP Shyvana doing a ton of damage. I mean, you get pretty much free damage when she turns dragon and shoots her fireball.
Yeah,
so it's
that empowered E damage is just, it's nutty.
It's insane. Oh, but we do get the instant recon yet again. Maybe the Xayah will get picked up though to try to stop that Xayah recon combo bot lane.
Yeah, it would be good to interrupt that combo. Really good lane pairing together, but we do need to keep in mind that Xayah nerf that did hit on the last patch that absolutely wrecked the cooldown on her ultimate.
Yeah. So I guess Xayah really isn't good. Oh, but nope. Xayah does
we'll
get
go
picked
ahead
up. They
and-
do not want Rakan Xayah again in this game.
Yeah, cannot blame them for wanting to break up that pairing. We'll have to see what they decide to pair it with. I wouldn't be surprised to see them pick something else, though. Yes.
Oh, a more aggressive jungler this
Yeah.
time around. Okay, where are you, dude? It's your Jax. All right, but yeah, so the Jax jungle does come in. The Poppy removed, which means there's going to be a lot more damage this game from what was it, TIA?
Yeah, TIA. Every time we've seen TIA play today, we've actually seen that Jax get banned away from him. So really excited to see it finally get picked.
Oh, okay, that's good. I actually didn't know that he was more of a Jax player. So
Well, I'm not sure if it's him specifically that was getting those bans, but
okay.
there have been Jax bans in all the
I
TIA
see.
games today.
ooh, but the Malphite does get picked. If that is a full AP Malphite, this could be dangerous for the back line.
I just saw a meme with Malphite wearing sorcerer shoes, like 2 sorcerer shoes. He had a death cap on. the warriors, not the.
Was he just like I'm a mage or something?
And then they put the Rock's face on him.
Oh, that's funny.
It was really good.
But we do see the Xerath actually getting picked up for Experiment 626. So we do see a control mage coming down for him this game now. Corki not going to be picked up. Actually, I'm seeing that Tristana as well. Interesting enough, I know that Tristana is a kind of sleeper for top lane. So this could potentially be a Tristana top lane instead of its 80 carry.
Yeah, it could potentially be going that way, but not
Unlikely.
too sure.
Yeah, unlikely.
We also have seen this Xerath get banned away all day, so I'm really excited to see that come out.
Definitely. I am very, how would I say, used to seeing the Xerath on Experiment 66. The Kled though getting banned though. And the Yasuo from TIA. But also, it looks like the Leona was actually quite problematic from last game, enough to get it banned from Arcane. And Arcane will also ban.
Wouldn't be surprised to see something like the Thresh get banned away also.
Maybe another support. They do. Yep, the Thresh does get banned.
Yeah, Thresh has a really high presence in these GameArena tournaments.
Yeah, 100 in any game. To be fair, like Thresh is just one of the best supports ever. I wonder if we might be seeing a Tom Kench though, a Nautilus. I do want to say Tom Kench. I want to see more. Ooh, a Lux support though.
That's questionable, especially into like the hard engage style with like the
yeah,
Malphite.
the I really wanted. I talked about this with Smartest before, but I want to see a Tom Kench, especially with that Malphite out. A Tom Kench would have been so much better for the Xayah to stay alive. I understand that the Xayah herself has an ult that prevents damage for a certain duration, but after that thing comes down, like you're by yourself really, especially with a Lux who might die before the Xayah is able to return. Oh, and the Mordekaiser as well. Even worse, like it's going to be struggle city. It's going to be a very, very hard. We might be seeing a Silver Sash coming from this in this game for some of these champions. Because Mordekaiser is just going to be picking off these loners like Lux, Xerath, they do. Oh, and Sway.
Okay, this is a really strong team picked up.
That is that Malphite jungle?
I think that's Malphite has been traditionally been played in the jungle on patch 9.18. Yeah, so we will see him probably AP style, and it's not fun to play against.
Yo, I know. It's rough. Oh, but is that an Alawi?
Oh no, we got baited. We got baited with the Alawi.
It's a Darius.
It's the second time I've got baited on the Alawi today, so I am not a happy camper.
I do see, but I mean, it is a good matchup though. Darius will definitely have more, I guess,
dueling
potential against the Mordekaiser, especially since going Ghost Flash, which most Dariuses do anyways. Again, I'm very afraid for this Like this Malfoy's going to be doing so much late game again because we have
so many squishy targets.
We have very stationary champions. We have Xerath, we have Lux, Xayah, of course, as well. But like, of course, after Xayah ults, like if Malphite ulted in, like you could have somebody more
set
people,
it up with the quickness from Arcane.
You could have so many more, but like engage potential. Their engage is ridiculous compared to TIA's comp.
TIA doesn't even have a ton of disengage.
Well, that's what their team comp it looks like it's trying to become, though, is that you come to us and we'll try to beat you in our front, because their front is more they want people to come to them and they do the damage, and then against Arcanes, which is more we're gonna go to you and finish you off as fast as possible. So in the end, it's kind of similar to the last game, except this time we have a Jax who gives more aggression to TIA's comp. I'm just very worried about this Lux support though, because though Lux is strong, we do see a ton of engagement on the Mordekaiser Malphite. Mordekaiser can just ult the Lux becoming very useless in that team fight, and then it's
especially with Lux being so prevalent in the last few months. She did get just nerfed probably 3 patches in a row just to get her out of the pro meta, so she's not even in a fantastic spot in terms of her numbers right now. Her shield took a huge hit, but
no more Aftershock Lux.
Yeah, no more Aftershock Lux. Thankfully, that was not fun to play against. I play a lot of AD carry, and that was a time where I played mostly top lane because I did not want to deal with Lux.
Oh yeah. I mean, oh, God. every month there's a new meta. All right. But yeah, definitely though, I want to say that I see a lot more just potential in Arcane's comp.
Don't think there's any point that TIA can group up in the mid game. If they
definitely
group up at any point, the game could just be over.
Yeah, because what the whole plan looks like is we have the Rakan, or we have the Malphite starting the fight, and then of course we're gonna have all of TIA just spread apart because they don't want to get that grouped up damage, and then we'll have the Rakan Swain coming in from the shadows, group them all together. Mordekaiser gonna pick off the Darius to prevent him from helping his team, his really squishy team, and then Tristan just being like, level 18 max range, boo boo boo, and we're gonna be finishing off everybody from the back.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see if Jin can get this top lane matchup rolling for himself, though. The Darius does have a lot of kill threat onto the Mordekaiser, but it'll really just, I think it'll come down to jungle interference.
I will, yeah. So, because I don't want to just say that Arcane has the best comp, because I will say that TIA does have a good pick comp.
Yeah, they do have win conditions.
Yes, they do have a pick comp, which means the Xerath has a nice stun, Xayah with the feathers, Lux with the snare, Jax can easily 1v1 anybody in any situation late game, and of course the Darius as well. They have like they have the CC.
They have a good 1v. I mean, a good 1-3-1 for their late game.
Yeah, definitely. In terms of team fights, I want to say that Arcane has the better comp. But in terms of like small skirmishes, I want to say that TIA actually has the better comp there.
Yeah, but this is in no way like lost in Champion Select.
Is that mine? No. Okay. Thank you.
That's funny. Okay,
Oh, that's actually
we
really good.
are
Okay.
getting rid of that spectator
Don't
delay.
judge.
Be able to check out runes in just a second.
I mean, yeah, I definitely want to see the Mordekaiser and Darius running Conquer, which immediately I do see.
Ooh, the Predator.
Oh, the Predator
the
on
Predator.
Malphite is scary.
I cringed when I saw the Predator.
We do see Tristana with the PTA instead of the usual. Actually, I guess Tristana's do build PTA.
Tristana is a mixture of PTA and lethal
I see.
tempo.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a situational.
I would honestly think lethal tempo would have been a bit better since their team isn't actually that. Actually, no. You know what? PTA would be better just because they're all squishy.
Yeah, PTA works really well. It just has a nice interaction with the bomb.
And not just that, like especially against a very squishy comp, like you're gonna be doing so much damage, finishing them off much faster than lethal tempo.
Do you see Arcane? I'm sorry, TIA, all grouped up here.
But can we just see that beautiful Star Guardian skin though?
Can you swap the team names? Oh, forget it.
But TIA though gonna be doing a nice invade though. Gonna be putting that ward in the tribe bush. Nothing really happening at the moment though. Jin probably gonna be moving top side. But yeah, like we said before though, it's just in terms of skirmishes, like I do want to see a lot of 2v2 fights coming from TIA because I believe that they have the better 2v2s. But in terms of actual team fights, I want TIA to stay away from that. I want them to have a split pusher. I want Jin to be split pushing most of the time. Maybe even Bertan as well. I want like a 1-3-1 late game. That would actually be a lot better than a 5 or like a 1-4-0.
And especially with the ranged ultimates coming from the Lux and the Zerath, they can both step down into the jungle and provide additional support with those ultimates.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, Doyle does start with the snare, does get the grab. I do say I like Swain a lot better now than he was before, especially because he has max,
the infinite scaling.
Stacks. Oh, but Jin though gonna be hiding in that jungle, gonna be doing a lot of damage to Toxic Drag. Toxic Drag knows he can't 1v1 this level 1. Gonna get all 5 stacks. Has the TP, flash away, not TP, flash away. Toxic already having to burn flash in 1 minute 50.
As someone who enjoys playing the Darius, that is one of my favorite cheeses to do, is to start with the W, catch someone when they walk into the bush, and they are gonna have to blow that flash.
Oh, definitely, especially with the 5 stack. 5 stacks level 1 is so good, especially with the bonus damage. Like anybody who can do over 100 attack damage early, like level 1, level 2, is broken.
Yeah, especially that auto reset. It's just, it's nutty.
Anybody with auto reset is just so good. Mundo with auto reset is just so good. All right.
Oh yeah.
Experiment 66 though, kind of low already at level 2 compared to Swain. Doyle just doing really well in these past couple of games though. Like last game, Doyle was doing really well with Talia, showing a lot of presence in the other lanes as well, ulting. But now he has less mobility as Swain though, so we might not be seeing him ganking as much as he did previously. So there might be less pressure earlier. Oh, but again right here though, seeing Cryogenics might try to push him away from his own jungle.
Yeah, Cryo will have to back out there. He cannot fight a Darius early.
We do see Toxic here as well, going to be trying to help out. We do see the sphere coming down from Doyle. Doyle going to be getting that root onto Experiment as well. I believe he already has a couple stacks on top of him now. Like it's almost like it's kind of like Scion, where you just constantly keep getting more and more health as the game goes on.
5 health every passive proc is it's gross, especially later in the game when people are grouping up and you can hit multiple people with your W.
And then you get all 5. Like that's just juicy HP. Ooh.
Yeah, you get that healing and that +5 HP, so it's really nice. Definitely what you need in a harass-focused lane like playing against the Zerath.
Yep. So right now it looks like it's going to be just a big CS fest. Joker dodging that very skillfully. Oh, we do see a lot of damage going on. Okazaki though going to be running in. I don't know why he would run in like that. With the Ignite on top of him, we do get the Ignite off of Forgiven, though. Forgiven going to be getting some of that small healing with his Q.
Yeah.
Okazaki having to flash away as well. That's not good.
Really good on Joker recognizing the binding down and just instantly taking the rocket jump on top of Okazaki.
I actually noticed this as well. Okazaki did not take heal. He took TP, so that means
so he's going to have a rough time.
This is going to be a struggle for him now. We do see, though, the swing coming down into bot river with the Malphite. Maybe they might be looking for something here in bot lane. Oh, but we do see the snare going on top of Joker, though. Joker taking a lot of damage. No Joker jumping in. Okazaki does not flash and gets first blooded. But we do see a kill being traded off to Jin on top of Toxic Drag. Applause sitting here bot lane. Gonna see if she can try to stop this push. We do see the TP coming down from Okazaki down to bot lane. And TP coming from Toxic Drag up to the top lane.
Yeah, but that's really unfortunate. Tristana most likely will get to back and pick up that BF sword as opposed to the two long swords. Yeah, that is not going to be a fun lane for Okazaki.
I think what will happen is kind of like similar to the last game, where they have to focus around Jin more now, because Jin is going to be ahead of Mordekaiser, and like already 13 CS ahead of Mordekaiser at the moment of Toxic Drag. So yeah, as long as you can get Mordekaiser to not have items, he's not really going to be that useful when he ults somebody. Like, he actually will be killable in his realm. Yeah,
with the extra AP, he just, that passive shreds people.
Oh, the big AoE like that surrounds him. Yeah. Like that's,
shred.
oh god, that does so much. Oh, but we do see the grab though. Jin gonna be actually dodging the grab though. Gonna be engaging onto Toxic. Gonna get all 5 stacks on top of him again. Already popped the ghost. Gonna be chasing down Toxic Drag. Toxic Drag does not have the has to pop the shield. Jin doing actually very good maneuver right there where he doesn't keep the engage because he
has the flash available and he just hit 6.
Yeah, but it looks like Toxic Drag already just TP'd back into lane, having to back up again. He's gonna be losing a lot of CS for like 21 now.
Really good on Berton for putting his Darius that far ahead.
Cryo is going to be coming here, going to be getting that little slow in. Actually, a Malphite as well now has a different W now. Instead of a Tiamat type of AoE, it does more of like a Titanic type of AoE.
Yeah, yeah, it's really different.
I think it changes more in lane than it does in jungle. I think in jungle you would rather have the Tiamat, but
yeah, you just have to path differently for like the Raptors and stuff. You have to kite them, get them to line up the same way you do with like a Kane W or something like that. Yeah.
Now this bot lane definitely is going to be more of a struggle. Oh, we do see Toxic Drag again. Oh, that grab was wonderful though, pushing back Jin and Berton.
Did have to blow the
we
flash.
do see the root though going on to Forgiven. Another jump though coming in from Joker though. The heal coming down. Okazaki getting low got ignited again. Although doesn't get the triumph though. Joker gonna be taking a lot of damage from this turret. They're gonna be jumping on, finishing it off Okazaki.
Oh, man.
Paz must be chasing down right now, but the camera is stuck on Experiment 66. But it looks like if a Joker does stay alive.
Yeah, this is just really, really good play out of Joker. Noticing as soon as binding goes down, he's taking those rocket jumps in. And that was a super aggressive rocket jump under turret, grabbing that reset, leaping out, and just walking away.
Yeah, Joker now at level 6 though does have the ult. He's gonna be joining onto Paz. Gonna be going in, trying to get the ult in, trying to do as much. Oh, does get the damage. Barrier does pop though. Joker jumps once again. Looks under tower. It's gonna get. It's gonna get finished off. Oh, but it's gonna get executed.
So close with the triumph. Looks like we have a 4v3 here.
It's not. Actually, Jin getting a lot of HP though, coming out from that Q. It's gonna be getting a kill on the cryogenics, and also has max stacks right now. Jin gonna be doing a lot of damage. We'll get finished off here though. Toxic Drag gonna be engaged by Berton, but will be finished off by the Forgiven though. That's actually not that bad. Jin getting the kill, but double kill on the Forgiven actually makes it better for TIA.
Yeah, they definitely could have had the gold go in way worse places.
And not just that, Toxic Drag only got 1 assist in that fight when there were 2 deaths. So still actually behind compared to Jin right now.
Yeah, but really good on Jin, able to get himself a kill in that 1v3.
Yeah. I will definitely say though that Arcane that was great play by them though.
Definitely.
I will definitely, but also there were 3 members on Jin, so Jin stayed a whole lot longer, like alive a whole lot longer.
Oh, when you hit 3 people with that Q, you're getting
you were getting so much HP. Nothing really happening now, though. Cryogenics is, though, level 6. What happened? Cryogenics, though, is level 6 right now.
I just got his attention randomly and just acted like I needed him and flipped him off.
Oh, my goodness. We're professionals, everybody.
Yeah.
We're all professionals here. All right, but so still nothing happening much at bot lane, though, but we do have 2 Fed members in bot lane, both the Tristana and the Arcane. Jin showing off that he can...
You hit X. Yeah. There you go.
Money.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, look at that 1.2k for top lane right now. Jin
Yeah,
just,
that is what I wanted to see.
just diving in the money.
Almost about a 900 gold lead for...
Jin engaging onto Toxic Drag right now. Toxic Drag has no way of fighting this. Jin could already having ult. Again, making him pop that shield. Making Toxic Drag unable to... actually, he can come back into lane, but he's just not going to be ready for another fight. We do see, though, that Jin has 2 parts of his Triforce, though. Really close compared to Mordekaiser, who has, or Toxic, who only has a Tabbies and an Amplifying Tome.
Yeah, he is really far behind in this top lane. Sitting 52 to 84 in that CS difference. 30 CS down is kind of killer at 10 minutes.
Yeah, and then and everybody else is actually Xayah is Okazaki's actually doing pretty fine in CS right now, though behind is regaining some of that economy. Oh, but we do see the flash coming on. Oh, but great ult by Okazaki, gonna be taking no damage from that at all. Cryogenics really low. All coming onto Bertan. Bertan pushed away by Joker. Great play by Joker right there, not getting engaged on, but Bertan having getting that smite down, getting that slow. We got Okazaki gonna be finishing off the Tristana and get the shutdown onto Bertan. Oh, he went the grab on the Toxic Drag. Jin gonna be stopping that. Toxic Drag gonna put the shield on, but he does have all max stacks. He's gonna be taking so much damage with his Jin. Jin gonna be finishing off with the Q. And now we have Do You Love It gonna be staring on the on top of both Applause and Okazaki, though. Okazaki and Bertan we do so much damage. Bertan getting exploded, though, from Do You Love It. And now Do You Love It, literally the only member left alive in Arcane.
Oh, that was a long fight.
Yeah, actually, it was long enough that Joker and Forgiven did spawn, but there was no way that they were gonna get back in that fight.
Yeah, no way they were gonna get back in that fight.
Oh yeah, look,
Huge props on Jin canceling that
put it back
TP.
at money. I want to see that money. Oh, look at that money gain, dude. Look, Xayah actually came back from her gold
was down
deficit.
900 gold, came
and
back
now
just
came
from that
back.
fight.
2k top lane, 1k jungle,
Just
and mid lane is quite
massive
even.
out of Jin canceling that teleport.
Oh,
yeah, he has no
amazing.
way to respond to that fight. So the fact that he didn't even need to get the kill there, let alone the fact that he stopped Mordekaiser from interfering in the fight, is enough.
What's even worse too is that like this changed a long time ago for TP, but if you cancel it or someone cancels it for you,
You don't get that refund.
you don't get the refund now. Like you're now stuck at I think it's
The full
300
6
seconds.
minutes, yeah.
Yeah. So great play by Jin, saving the lives of his team members by finishing off Toxic. But yeah, like overall, that there were 2 fights happening there. I definitely want to say that Arcane needed to not continue that fight because they only had around 2 members left in that. I think it was a 2v3, 2v4.
Yeah, it definitely, the longer it went on, became more and more TIA favored.
I do understand their thought process, though, because Do You Love It is playing Swain, who is stronger when there are more people around him, because he heals more off of his ult.
Yeah.
Plus, he can proc it a lot faster as well. But overall, though, like, there really wasn't much you could really do. He did get Bertan, but other than that, Jin, though, here wants to grab a Toxic Drag. Toxic Dragon is trying to get away from this. Does get all max stacks, so has to flash away. But Jin actually going to be chasing him down, but getting the ult on the shield, not protecting Toxic Drag for very long. Jin going to be finishing him off very, 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 very quickly.
That is a feels bad.
Oh, we do get the snare onto the Tristana. Tristana going to be finishing off by Okazaki with a great snare by Applause. He's trying to be engaged on the Cryogenics cell right now. Cryogenics already having to pop ult right there. Being engaged by Forgiven. Actually, that's all 3 members going to be finishing off Experience 66. So a decent trade.
Yeah, but this will be top turret going down first in favor of TIA.
Yep.
15 seconds before turret plate gold falls off. So all of those plates and first turret went over to the Darius. He's massive.
He is huge right now with the Triforce, and who knows what item he can get now when he goes back. They're also getting not Skull Crab, Rift Herald right now. Big Scuttle Crab.
Big Scuttle.
Big Scuttle. But right now that's we're back with the money. 3K, dude. This Darius is insane right now. Jax as well with around a 2K still around a 2K, 1.5.
Like a 1.5 gold lead.
Yeah, 1.5. We do see Xerath starting to, we see his experiment is kind of struggling right now in the mid lane.
Yeah, pretty much everything's even in the bot lane if you add gold.
Usually if there is a trade though, it usually hits around the mid or bot lane. So it is to be it is. Yeah, I do. Oh man, I actually want to go back to when Malphite first did his flash ult bot lane. This was how many minutes ago? But Okazaki ulted right there.
That was a perfect ult.
Yeah, that was so great.
Because he also dodged the knockup from the Rakan. That grand entrance would have been devastating.
So 100% great play by Okazaki right there. That's probably the turning point for TIA was that moment right there. Toxic Drag, seeing if he can chase down, but taking a lot of damage at the same time. He does not have items.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, there's not even really a place on that map he can go right now.
Yeah, it's 15 minutes in. He needs to get money. He needs to be.
He needs to complete an item.
If he ults anybody at this point in time, he will lose the 1v1, excluding Lux. Possibly Lux, but that's not saying much. We do have a
right
do you love it though? Going to be stopping that ult though, coming from Experience 66. Going to be getting a big bubble on top of it as well. All 5 members here. Applause is going to be showing who's actually around that pit right there with the ult, but the drag does go to blue team.
I'm really questioning that swing.
Do you love it right here, though? Going to be seeing this blue buff. Actually grabbing it as well.
Yeah, he's
Barton going to be trying to re-engage. Has to run away, though. Not a lot of HP right here.
He might be back up. We'll get away.
It looks like 3 members, though, going to be trying to close on.
Collapse.
Yep, trying to collapse onto Do You Love It. Do You Love It, though? He's going to get stunned right here. Actually, Rift Herald got popped top lane. I actually did not notice this at all. We do see the snare, though, coming with Applause. This Malphite going to be destroyed. Cryogenics going to be finished off by Applause right here.
Yeah, it's really rough when you build that full AP. You are a squishy Malphite, especially against AP.
We talked about this. They're these small skirmish fights.
Quickness.
Yeah. We do have Bertan. They're going to be re-engaging onto Forgiven. They're going to be dashing on top of Do You Love It. Explod's gonna be rooted right here though. The re-engage happening with Joker on the field. Okazaki gonna be getting the flash off of Joker right there though. Okazaki having to flash himself. Gets the feathers in, and we got Bertan gonna be jumping on top of Joker right here. We do have Toxic Drag though gonna be coming in to see if he can do anything. But Jin, he is here. He is scary. He is coming in, and he will kill you. Toxic Drag though gonna do a lot of damage. Gonna be actually finishing off. I believe who was it? Bertan. But Do You Love It though, taking a lot of damage from experience as well. Jin though here once again, he's he missed the grab though. Jin gonna be rooted, possibly slowed. Do You Love It though? Gonna be taking some hits from.
Yeah, there's not really anywhere he can go.
Okazaki is kind of low. He needs to be careful. Oh no, but the stun does come through. That's gonna kill him. Do You Love It?
Yeah, another one of these really long drawn out fights that ends up going in the favor of TIA.
Yeah, definitely a whole lot better play than what we were seeing last game. We were talking about how the team fights were on an Arcane side, but we haven't seen any 5v5s yet. We haven't seen anything that could be considered a team fight. We've been seeing 2v2s, 3v3s, and by far TIA has been on top of those.
Jin goes ahead and steals the blue buff away from Experiment.
Experiment already has a blue buff. He doesn't need it.
Yeah, he was using the ability. He was halfway through the ability, and Darius popped the Q.
But yeah, no, at this point right now, they just need to be they need to be careful, because if the game does start going towards more of a team fight oriented battle, then I want a TI to just be careful. They are ahead. They can definitely win some of these fights, especially with this Toxic Drag only having Riley's Crystal Scepter. He's not that strong right now. But they just have to be careful. Toxic Dragon is just hiding in that tri-bush. Oh, here goes that ward.
Yeah, it was really unfortunate for Joker there. Ended up leaping into the Blade Caller. Did a ton of damage and gave enough space for Bertan to just jump on him and auto reset him.
I was actually looking at those feathers, okay, there are 5 I wonder what they'll do with those 5 feathers. And I saw as they were moving in, I'm like, oh no.
And then the rocket jump came through, and oh man.
I was like, that was a really bad play by Joker. He should respect the feathers.
Definitely unfortunate.
We do. I mean, hey, like bird flu, dude. That exists. Oh, Forgiven though. Not seeing Applause right here. Applause though gonna be missing that snare. Jin though, like Jin has a dead man's, has speed. He is a fast boy. He will be chasing down his enemies. Oh, and actually he's going bot lane right now with Toxic Drag. Not seeing this actually. There's no vision for Toxic Drag. He's gonna be engaged. He's actually gonna be ulting onto the Xayah though. But like I said, Toxic Drag does not have items. He's gonna be we do see the stun though, but Tom gonna be stunning him, and it's just gonna be finishing off once again. We see Applause gonna be finishing off Forgiven in the bot river. They have all this pressure, and they'll be able to get.
I feel really bad for Toxic Jade. He has had all of his teleports wasted. The first one, he teleported back to lane and got killed immediately. Nice buffer. Was able to buffer that rocket jump, so it just cancels the Darius pull.
Oh wait, Jen just shared that explosive damage with Bertan. Like, hey, you want to hear a secret?
Have 75 damage.
Yeah. Here, take this. Alright,
barely misses the pull.
Man, yeah. I don't think barely. That was quite far. It was like a good meter. It's far. But we do see. But yeah, like. Every lane, I believe, now is just doing so well. Applause doing really well with her snares. And we do see the ult coming down from Expert 66, but we do see Forgiven, though, engaging onto Applause right now. Applause, though, going to be finishing off Joker right here. Actually going to survive as well. Double kill for Applause. Do you love it? Oh, has ult on right now. Going to be grabbing, finishing off Okazaki right here. But we do see Expert 66 going to be finishing off Do You Love It with a bit of his phase. I don't know what that build is actually called. Kamehameha wave. Explosive anime blast. Demon Killer. Oh, but we see the flash again for Cryogenics, not actually hitting Experiment right there. Was it Arcane Pulse? Anime name. Oh, we got 3 members on the Jin right now though, but Jin having all stacks onto Toxic right now will be finished off. Definitely a bit of a disrespect right there, and actually that's a lot of shutdown gold going on to the Mordekaiser. I don't actually see it right now because for some reason the text is like clipped. Yeah, like just can't see it.
Yeah,
but
unfortunately.
I think that was around. It should have been around like 700 gold.
It should have been a full.
Yeah, 600.
Should have been a full shutdown. Arcane Pulse.
So, but still, like even with that, Darius is still like Jin is still 3K ahead. Like, he's just far ahead.
Yeah, he is really far ahead, sitting at 6 and 2. And
Forgiven the kind of alone right there, does have to dash over the wall.
Wouldn't it be surprised to see like Asterix come through next?
No, he's actually just going tank now. I think what he's working more towards, like, because they already have the damage.
Yeah.
They have no need for Darius to get even more damage because they already have 2 AP carries, an 80 bruiser, and an 80 carry. So there's absolutely no need to add on to the carry list. So I actually like Jin's thought process right here. I believe now he's been working more towards the team than he is on just getting solo kills.
Yeah, one thing that is definitely a lot different than the last game is the placement coming out from GDF Joker. He's definitely not been paying respect to like Okazaki and Applause. He's always taking those rocket jumps in, and it's always leading to his death.
He's not respecting the feather placement. If we did see him maybe rocket jump a bit around the feathers, I can see more like survivability coming from that. We do see Bertan though going on to Do You Love It? Do You Love It gonna get that root on, gonna be getting some of that sweet stacks. Blue buff going over to Do You Love It, I believe. But actually that is there's still some inside there. Don't touch me. How dare you? But what was I gonna say? But Do You Love It did use ult there, so he doesn't have ult for the next fight if there will be one. Baron is up too.
Yeah, we are sitting at the point where Malphite also has his Sork shoes, so he will he's gonna smack.
Oh, I see a lot of damage going on to Expensive 6 right here. Joker actually had the rocket jumps in. No follow up though. Jin playing a bit safer now. Now they knows that when he doesn't see anybody, he wants to be careful. Though it looks like he's going down to Toxic Drag right now. Gonna be grabbing onto him. Gonna be doing some damage as well. Toxic Drag gonna be ulting on a Jin though, getting some of that bonuses. Oh, Toxic Drag having to pop his stopwatch. Will stay alive for a little longer. Actually do a lot of damage. Oh, but Jin getting his His grab back, but finishing him off in the end. Do you love it? Still doesn't have ult, but here comes the engage coming from, starting from Forgiven. Here comes the barrier though. It's gonna be, Experience 66 will be saved from this. Oh, none of the feathers actually hit Forgiven, but Forgiven does survive.
Nice flash!
The flash coming from Okazaki,
Oh my
keeping him
God.
alive. We're getting a double kill, a triple kill onto Applause right now. And now the only one left alive right now is Joker, but Jin is here to say, "Ha, I am Darius."
Yeah, that was a massive fight. That flash out of Okazaki was incredible.
Baron is going to be finished off here for TIA. Great play right now. There's no way anybody from Arcane can stop this unless we see another sweet Joker rocket jump coming from over the wall, but he's too far right now. Baron falling over to TIA. They now have huge advantage. They're 22 to 11. They're 1.1k, or they're 11k. Sorry, 11k ahead, not 1.1, 11.
It's nutty.
Yeah, like they I don't want to say that they can't mess this up because they definitely can.
It's just their game to lose.
Yeah, it's like they have now. All they need to do is, at this point, they can group up because they are strong enough where Malphite actually doesn't do that much.
Yeah.
The Swain, yes, Swain is actually still pretty strong, but you have enough damage where Swain really isn't that great at the moment. And with the Baron buff as well. I mean, it looks like they're going for a 1-3-1 right now. They're pushing all lanes. And that's completely fine because nobody can stop Jin. Bertan is playing Jax, and then you have 2 AP carries slash 80 slash mobile 80 carry in the mid lane. So actually looks like Bertan is moving towards mid lane though. But great plays by TIA this game though. A lot
So
more,
much gold on that Darius.
a lot different compared to last game. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, like we did that all game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like that's
We've
literally
been
all game.
at
Just
it.
like Darius again. But yeah, no, Jin definitely has been playing like this Darius very cleanly because usually when you're Experience 66 has to flash away from this engage coming from the bot lane.
Yeah, even
Bertan.
opting towards that Randuin's Omen, it looks like.
Oh, definitely. Crowd does get the ult, though, finally, on Experience
nice
66. Does get to finish him off as well. But pause here to do a lot of damage. Bertan finishing off Cryogenics in that fight. So there's a trade for jungler to AP carry. Okazaki, though, going to have to ult away with the feathers. Going to be going onto Toxic Drag. Bertan, though, engaging onto Joker. Joker going to have to ult him away. Do you love it? Has the ult on currently, though. We're doing a lot of blast damage. Okazaki getting pretty low. The flash coming from Joker. Joker, though, going to be doing a lot, taking a lot of damage from Bertan, but going to be finished off by Do You Love It. A bit risky right there. But we do see Jin, though, pushing bot lane right now. Going to be finishing off that inhib tower. And now it's going to be going straight for the inhibitor with Baron buff still on him. Looks like Toxic Drag is trying to back as fast as possible, but it won't be in time for this inhib, though. Looks like it also looks like a lot of pings are happening towards a dragon right now, so it looks like everybody's going to start to reconvene there, as it is an Infernal Drake, so it is very important. Applause, though, kind of just jumping into
Jin
the fray.
just popped his ghost, making his way here.
Do You Love It getting the snare onto Applause? Going to finish
man.
out right there, but Okazaki getting chased out onto Do You Love It. We do see Jin finishing off Joker right there. Also finished off Forgiven when I wasn't looking.
Yeah, right at the beginning of the fight, picked up Forgiven. Picked up a double kill onto Darius. He is massive right now. We also have minions pushing in. No top lane turret for that top inhib. Minions are just smacking away at a free inhib.
Yeah, Jin only has a Triforce for damage on him too, by the way. Like, that's all he has for damage, but that's all he needs as well. Especially the fact that he went Conquer and the bleed stacks. His bleed does just so much dot damage. It's ridiculous. Infernal going to TIA.
Yeah, between the Cloud Drake that he has and his Dead Man's Plate, no one is going to be able to run away from him.
Yes, they will cry. They will scream, but they can't run away.
They will fear Demacia.
They will just... Demacia? Noxus?
No, I'm just kidding.
How dare you. Trying to kill my lore. Still waiting for that MMO, dude. Still waiting for that.
Still waiting for your MMO?
Yeah, still waiting for that Riot MMO to come out.
It's Noxus versus Noxus.
Yeah, but we already know which Noxus is winning, so. You say Draven? Yeah. I mean, yeah, dude.
Because he gets a break.
No, because he's a tier 4. He's a tier 4 chess piece in TFT. Of course, he's a chess piece. All right, so not much really happening now. I believe Baron did expire for. Yep, it looks like Baron did expire for TIA. Looks like now we're just waiting for the next objective, or maybe an all-out fight, because I mean, right now, looks like Toxic Drag has to take care of this bot lane push coming from the supers. So there could potentially be. Actually, looks like Jin is going to be pushing bot lane.
Yeah, pushing in that bot lane, just trying to wait another minute and 15 for this next Baron that'll be spawning. They really just have free control over this map. There's a lot of vision set up for Arcane and around that blue buff. But other than that, I'm not really sure if they're going to even be able to contest.
There's like leftover cookies in here. Shout out to GA's concession stand. They do great work there. Come visit. Just for the food and drinks.
Ooh,
Oh,
get
it is
the
easy to
call.
do you love it? Actually has. Oh no, but Jin all by himself though. There's gonna be no reappearance, any appearance from anybody. Oh, but he does
my
get a kill onto Forgiven right before he dies. Not the best of trades. Bertan though gonna be alone here with Toxic Drag though. It's like, hey baby, just you and me, Oh, but it looks like Toxic Drag does have to pop that Zonia's right now. Oh, and like the pause does get the kill on the Toxic Drag. Oh, we do see a lot of shielding and a lot of defense.
Bertan.
Oh, Bertan actually stays alive. You love it, all by himself. But now he's like, I'm really
Yeah, this is gonna be game.
And he is done. Bertan getting finished off by a little. I don't know what that was.
Yeah, Super's pushing in on the bottom side. It's gonna go ahead.
Yeah,
and
that's
be game.
definitely gonna be game now. The closest one who can get out is Forgiven, and we all know that Forgiven does so much damage. Yeah.
Yeah, this was. Yeah, this was really the Jin show.
Oh, definitely. Not like everybody played perfectly. Like it wasn't even just Jin.
great.
I want to say definitely. Jin definitely did. Like I will definitely say MVP of the team, putting so much pressure throughout the whole game. But
We saw so many clutch plays out of Okasaki.
I just want to say this: that Cryogenic did not play that mouth like just he did not make it like play it proper.
Yeah,
Like,
there's a way to play AP Malphite, and he wasn't really taking advantage of it. It wasn't taking advantage of.
well, he was, but the thing was, everybody's reaction time on TIA was spot on. When you saw a flash ult from him, you would either see an ult coming from the Xayah.
Well, it's because they had a ton of vision set up.
Yeah.
It really helped. If Malphite thinks he's in the darkness, he's gonna flash ult. But if you see him coming, it's telegraphed.
So
yeah,
yeah,
definitely,
definitely. Just look at that.
That's a ton of damage out of Swain.
Well, I mean, because it makes sense because when Swain ults, like he was always in the middle of the fights.
Yeah, he was always in the middle of like three people. Yeah.
Every time he ulted, he would 50% HP anybody around him. Like like he still did a lot of damage. Darius did a lot of single target damage though. We saw him just 1v1ing anybody or even 1v3ing anybody.
Yeah, definitely a really exciting game too. And that was TIA saying we are not done and we want to go to the finals.
Yeah. We want these shoutcasters to stay on these seats for the next 3 hours without any sleep. And
It happens.
And drugs.
What?
Don't do drugs, kids.
Don't do drugs. Do GA.
Do GA. It sounds like a new street drug. Okay, I think we're gonna go ahead and take a little bit of a break as we get ready for Game 3.
Yes.
Don't go anywhere.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Just waiting on. Oh, no, the heat. The shoutcast from out there. Got Curry King in the back over there. What a great play! What a great play! Oh man, what?
I know what's happening because I fixed it the first time. He keeps slightly pulling it out, and it's like, it keeps getting staticky.
Wait, what happened? Pulling what out?
The headset cord, it doesn't like stand fully, so he keeps
All right. It's ladies and gentlemen, if your headphones are not working, don't unplug them. Lessons we learned today, Garrett. if your headphones stop working, don't unplug. All right, there we go. There you go. Move the mic closer. All right, we got a game 3 though. We got the silver scrapes queued up. I am afraid you're going to fall. You're afraid you're going to fall. What do you got going on over here? All right, so I did not cast smartest one. What is this? Wait a second. But can you do this?
Oh wait, this goes really far back. I was not expecting this. All right.
But can you do this?
Do what?
All right, so I did not. Your face is just like blocked.
Yeah, by my
By your
name.
name, by your
It makes
name.
sense. I am the mysterious Curry King.
The mysterious.
What
it's
do I look
like?
like?
Disguised
You'll never
toast. Like when they used to have the
The toast.
the actual toast.
The toast with shades. Oh wait, this actually goes way too far back. I was not expecting this. No. All right.
All right, there we go. All right, so I did not cast the last game, so I didn't see the full details of it, but I saw some pretty nasty things coming out of Jin in the top lane and the Darius. What are your expectations for this draft? Like,
All right, so I believe they actually can't. Well, they have to focus on Jin now because like
you think just ban out the player and say, okay, if we shut down this guy, we can move anywhere on the map.
Potentially, because I want to say that last game everybody did their part. I want to say that Cryogenic actually did very poorly that game.
Compared to game number
with the
1.
Malphite, definitely. Like with the
Yeah.
Malphite, he was not getting the damage he needed for his team.
Come on, man.
I like saying he though. There's just 2 letters, not 3.
The reasoning is you're lazy.
Pretty much.
Alright.
I'm a lazy beaver. All right, so
A lazy
but yeah,
beaver.
so Cryogenic though, like we saw like she did a great flash ult play early game with Forgiven, but the great reaction time coming from TIA's AD carry though.
Oh, some of those flashes, like
No, not even flashes. Like
feather storms. Like
yeah, the feather storms. Like it was
I
just
saw like
brilliant.
2 flashes and maybe some feather storms too.
Yeah,
Yeah, the reaction time
but-
is important. Yeah, like
Cryogenic just could not.
could find the.
She did connect a couple ults, but they were usually on Experiment, who was playing Xerath, so of course it makes sense. But overall, though, like I wanted to say they had a great late game team fight team. They could never get into the late game, nor were they ever fully together as a team. So it became this thing where Jin would just walk around, kill Toxic, and then just kind of just do his own thing, and nobody could really get on top of Jin unless it was like 3 other members.
And we were talking about it a little bit post game, and you were saying that MVP that game was definitely Jin, but the whole team played very, very well. It wasn't just
It
the one
wasn't
player.
just
He
Jin.
had the lead. He was doing very well aggressing the lead, but there were still lots of plays happening from, like you mentioned, the AD carry who played very
Not just that,
reaction times.
like Applause. She was getting ults, like she was getting her snares off. Once the snare hit somebody, bam. I said this before the game started, was that they had a great pick comp. If you can pick somebody out, that person was dead, and that's what we saw consistently was Applause getting that snare onto maybe 1 or 2 champions, and bam, those 2 would just get deleted, especially since they had so much damage. Their team were all carries. Like that was the thing. Their team, they didn't have one. Like even Applause wasn't a support anymore mid game. She became a second AP carry.
Yeah, the
So
Lux,
yeah,
right.
it was just so much damage. Like nobody could really do anything about it. And then Jin just became this oppressive force where Toxic just could not do anything whenever Jin was there.
And we also saw, like, in the 4v5 situations mid lane, it wasn't like they were getting totally wiped.
Yeah.
They lost like a minute. They lost like a member or 2, and then you'd have Jin like taking a tower, taking an inhib, getting these objectives at forced, more macro style level of play. So the question is, where do you go from there? Then is the focus from the side of Arcane the get rid of Jin as a player, like you ban him out, Is it the okay? Don't give Xayah to the AD carry to enable this sort of the dodgeability of things. Because game 1 for Arcane was heavily attributed to Do You Love It and Cryogenics, right? It was when they got ahead on the AP Talia and the AP Shyvana. So this game, it's where they're going to focus.
I think the Shyvana will still be banned because I still think that it was definitely a great ban from the last game. I want to see more Jhin bans coming down from the other side though, because they do know that Jhin is definitely the better top laner in between these two teams. So I want them to put. There's the Darius. So right there. There's the Darius ban.
So two bans already on him.
They would just like the Jhin is just an oppressive force. If he gets ahead, then the other lanes will also be affected. So it's definitely going to be this thing where they should definitely make their top feel more comfortable.
There's a Shyvana like you mentioned.
Yep.
I do think that if Xayah isn't banned here, it will be picked up by the blue side here, Silas being banned, because not only did it, you were saying Okisaki did pretty well with it, but also you're denying the Xayah Rakan being taken away from a red side here. So I think that's also super, super important.
Oh, and there it is. The Xayah will be coming through.
Yeah, there's Xayah.
You might see the Rakan coming for
Arcane, yeah.
Arcane. Although I want to say that the Rakan wasn't doing too much last game either, but it was. Oh, yeah, that's me. Thank you. Okay. And I am done. I am done talking for the next 5 minutes.
All right. So while Curry King enjoys this, it looks like it looks like Curry on stream. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the GA Buffalo Chicken Mac and Cheese.
It is
for the endorsement.
Or Pure Pleasure for short.
So
just coming into the store to say Pure Pleasure.
What's interesting here, though, is that Arcane has selected to pick up Alistar. So not only do they not take the Rakan, but they took a counter pick to Rakan. They said, you know what, we don't want the Rakan. Like you mentioned, we didn't have the greatest success with the Rakan. So instead, we're going to pick a character that prevents you from taking it anyway. However, while Alistar does well into Rakan, I wouldn't be surprised if To Infinity and Beyond took it anyway, just because that's how strong this lane is. Yes, you were denied a couple plays from Alistar, when you look for the initiation, but it's still really powerful overall. They might say, you know what, Morgana's on the map. We want the Morgana and the Alistar Talia pick.
They might pick it more. I think.
Well, maybe the Wombo here is they set up the J4 with the Xayah.
I think that they'll still pick a tanky, either a tanky support as well, maybe something like Thresh or something. Because they still want more. I want to say survivability. Alistar will definitely stop them from being able to stay alive, especially with that the knockup.
Okay, so we do see the Morgana being hovered here.
And so it's not going to be tanky. But
Morgana can also be flex picked though, right? Like you could have Morgana going to mid or top or support. That is true. You can decide where you want to take that. Most likely going to be support, but if there's a favorable matchup, like Morgana and Talia is not terrible. So there's still possibilities for plays like that to come in.
Actually, it's fantastic because you just can't knock back Morgana into your field of rocks. So
yeah, so definitely Arcane has to be careful how they draft here. The Vayne, I don't actually like. I think Vayne's a very, very aggressive pick here. I mean, if you are that proficient on this, if you're just saying, you know what, Vayne's just that high level of comfort pick, I can pop off on this, then fair enough. J4 Morgana, not that hard to deal with as Vayne. They don't have any lockdown for the Vayne yet. I mean, unless Morgana happens to land a binding, or if Vayne doesn't have flash and J4 can find the initiation. I also like to keep in mind is we've seen Vayne being played in lane. Even in Korea and things like that.
This is strange though. The Rakan does get banned, so I guess they do want to force that into a Morgana support.
Hey, maybe the Morgana is being flexed. Maybe we should take the Rakan away anyway to prevent the situation from coming in.
Although I think this is good though, because that just means that potentially could have just been an extra ban
towards Jhin.
Yeah. So it actually just could have been just a useless ban against TIA. So now we might see something more.
I think I would have liked to see them still put more bans towards Jhin Trench.
Me too. I definitely want to see that more. I think though.
There's the Xerath towards 626.
They might do a counter pick though for top lane here.
Oh, definitely. That's the lane where you're saying, okay, if this guy gets a lead,
the Kled gets banned.
So and it was interesting. I talked to the I don't remember one of the teams after the game, and they were bringing up the Darius and it was Jordan, one of the viewers here. For I think while you're running, and saying that what could they have drafted into the Darius? And I was saying one of the matchups.
Kale got picked.
Kale's interesting. Real quick is what matchup goes well into Darius? And I was saying actually, Kled doesn't do too bad into Darius if you're good, but it was banned away last game, so they didn't have the opportunity to pick it up. Being banned away again here, the Kale is I think really interesting. Typically you don't like first time kill. So which one of these players have, whether it's Do You Love It or Toxic Drag, has its playtime on it? Typically gets to guarantee that. I expect it to be Kale top. We do see the Lux being picked up here, so it might actually be the lane Morgana I was mentioning. And this most likely here will be the top lane pick we're about to see. I'm expecting something pretty aggressive. There are still some options like Renekton, Riven, Jax available. Jax does super well into kill.
So, like I said this last game, that last game they definitely had TIA had a better pick comp. It looks like they're doing the exact same thing. It's going to be, again, another good pick comp. So what they have to do is I just don't want them to be going into large team fights because they
Wait, the Yi?
Yeah, they now have a Master Yi, which means
Wait a second.
with the KO, Master Yi can turn invincible and can destroy team fights. So I would rather we be seeing again a 1-3-1 lane towards mid to late game compared to like a big group mid or bot. Nah.
So here's my only issue. Arcane has drafted a composition which is basically 100% late game. Kale needs time to scale in, Yi needs time to scale in, Vayne needs time to scale in. Talia's pretty strong, like early mid, so that's fine. Whereas, yes, Jax needs time to scale, but for this particular matchup, it works pretty well, right? You just took Yi into a Jax pick, so you have someone who can answer you later on in the game pretty easily. You have Xayah, Lux, Morgana, who all come online mid-game. If To Infinity and Beyond looks to play this game, focusing on the early mid side, they can take a lead and snowball it pretty hard, right? The thing is, if this game goes to 30 minutes in, then yes, you're going to have a situation where Arcane's going to run away with it just because they have the outscale. You have 3-item Vayne come in, not even 3, just 2. Once you have Gwynso's Rage Blade, Gwynso's Rage Blade and Static, you're like good to go. Like you're just super strong at that point. So you have to be a little careful on the Xayah Lux lane, but I suspect that if a binding lands onto either Vayne or Alistar, we can expect to see some chain CC coming down pretty easily.
Definitely.
Also, if they do a 4-man roam, like it's like a 4-man gank bot lane, that just looks terrifying. Morgana, Lux, J4 with Xayah to back it up. They have such good front to back. If J4 goes tank, which he 100% should. Yeah. There's no need for him to go damage here.
That's what we were talking about with the Darius from last game because they already had 4 carries. Oh yeah, it's all the way out. Okay, so with the Darius though, they had 4 carries already. Like so, I was like, okay, but Jin's like huge right now. But he was immediately after Triforce started building tanky because he was like, I don't need to go all damage. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta scoot over then. All right.
There we go. And so having half your face cut off here. So lane matchups wise, though, I mean, Kale has a little bit of harass in lane, but Jax doesn't really care about it, right? Jax can take Corrupting Potion here if he wants to have survivability.
He probably
in lane.
will.
Yeah, I'm expecting him to. He's probably going to take Conquer. He can take PTA for lane if he wants and go for heavy harass on Kale.
Does Kale still take Klepto?
You can.
Because I feel like you now want to go more like Lethal Tempo or even Conquer, something like GP.
I probably wouldn't take Klepto into Jax. I think Lethal Tempo is most likely what a lot of Kale players are doing right now. You were mentioning that yes, you have this Kale to help support one of your hyper carries, whether it's the Yi or the Vayne. The only concern is can Arcane get to that point, right? So that it all comes down to, again, understanding your win conditions of okay, we need a turtle, we need to play back, we need to scale. We're not looking for early mid-game fights. For Into Infinity and Beyond, or TIA, it is we need to be looking for those proactive plays. Mm-hmm. We need to get Morgana priority in the mid lane. We need to rotate with the J4 Morgana combination and look to make plays in the bot lane or even in the top lane. Because if Jax gets a lead, they have no one other than like Talia if she's ahead to deal with it. Like Vayne gets dumpstered, Kale gets dumpstered, Yi gets dumpstered. Like they don't have a very good answer to the Jax. And because Jin is their ace player, that's definitely the one thing to worry about. Once Jax gets Trinity Force and Spear Shojin, oh my god, he's a monster.
Yeah, he can just 1v1 Master Yi by himself.
Even, like 1v9,
actually. Because I do want to say that the Alistar will definitely like be a problem for the Jax if he ever does do like a 1v2 against the bot lane anytime soon. Mm-hmm. like I feel like the one who's gonna make all the plays should be Forgiven, because Forgiven is playing not only the initiator but also the disengager pretty much. Whenever they are the ones who get engaged on, we have the Alistar who can just break the Vayne out of trouble.
Kale did take Klepto, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah, so I guess we will see a bit of Klepto play here. It's not bad, especially because once you do to get the AoE from her E, everybody around that area will proc the Klepto. So, especially if you're playing the slower game, I would say Klepto's still better. But in the end, like they have who is it?
Look at this. We have 2 5-mans going on opposite sides. So Arcane is expecting an invade from the Morgana Lux combination. But TIA is invaded on the top half of the map looking for the play on the Kale. Saying that, okay, if Kale blows Flash, Jhin basically just wins that lane.
Yep, pretty much.
But they're not going to spot each other. In fact, they could even opt to steal the red away from Cryogenics, which would be huge for the...
And they wouldn't even know.
They would not even know. And it would be huge to deny the Yi.
But Kale is moving towards top side right now.
They're waiting.
No, they're moving away now. They could have definitely, if they just stayed a bit longer.
It's
but
a minute 12 in. Yeah, they definitely need to
would not have
rotate.
made it the bot lane.
Yeah, it looks like even Burden pulling back, going for that red buff start. Kale going the safe route.
They now have vision on Toxic right now, though. They see him coming. And we do see Jhin actually going to be waiting for him in the tri-bush.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to start the counter-strike, try and get some early harass, and here it is.
Oh, here it comes. The Jhin special. He's going to go on to Toxic right now. Toxic going to take a lot of damage. The Jhin did start stun as well. Going to be doing so much damage to Toxic right now. Toxic does also have...
Look at that. Dropped to 220 HP.
Actually, funny enough, too, Toxic did get, I think it was Fortitude, the Elixir, in that...
Rin popped it instantly.
Yeah,
I
just
didn't
popped
even
it
notice
instantly.
that.
It was kind of funny, though, because it doesn't really matter. The fight ended. But yeah, no, great play by Jhin right there. Like, he did that last game as well. He decimated Toxic early.
Oh, yeah, the Mordekaiser Darius, that's right.
All right, Applause, though, doing some damage to Joker, but Forgiven,
Oh,
starting with the slam,
Chiminaka.
though. Applause is really low at this point. Okazaki going to be, actually doing some feather damage to Joker, though, right there. We do see Toxic, again, going below 50% HP.
Another Corrupting Potion popped, and what's interesting is I don't think he took Biscuits, despite having Klepto. So he just procced his last Corrupting Potion.
Burton just going to be trying to counter jungle right here, though. Not going to be able to see any...
Yeah, in fact, he's
camps.
spotted by that ward on blue buff there. Not really sure what he's looking for there. They knew that you started blue because they had Vision of the Red, level 1. So I'm not entirely sure what he was looking to accomplish.
Maybe he thought the Yi was just power leveling, or not power leveling, was going to go path straight to red buff, like blue. Like, what's the usual path? Isn't it like blue?
For Yi, no, you do a full clear because you want the
Okay.
most XP you can possibly get.
I see. Because you want to get to level 6 as fast as possible.
Yeah, now Jax, be careful topside because now you have that a level 3 Yi looking to make a play somewhere, and J4 is 2 camps behind practically. Actually, 1 camp.
Oh, but Jhin actually going to be engaging at level 3 as well. Going to do a lot of damage to Toxic. Going to get that W off of him. Toxic just not going to be coming into lane with much HP. We do see, though, Master Yi is in the top river, though.
What's terrifying for this lane, too, is as soon as Jax hits level 6 and he can start doing your auto jump, auto W combination.
Does jump also proc the...
No. You have to. No. You do. It's every 3rd auto with Jax.
Yeah.
Right?
I thought his jump also was an auto. No.
No. So you auto twice. You jump onto Kale, and then you auto to proc it, and then you W, and it's just so much damage.
Jhin going to be jumping onto Toxic. And Toxic does not have any mana, but we do see Cryo here, though, going to be coming in for the gank. Does have red buff as well, but won't be able to slow him down because of
But it doesn't matter. What can they do?
Yeah, the dodge. Toxic going a little too far ahead right there.
Yeah, and what's unfortunate is Cryo actually just pushed the wave in a little bit.
Yeah.
And now you have this big wave stacked against Jhin.
Jhin just procced his biscuit, so he's actually going to be still a bit healthy in lane.
Oh, there's a ward in that brush.
Oh,
they see Burton sitting up there.
Oh, it looks like Toxic is having to back, though, because no mana out of Elixir stack, Elixir charges. We'll have to back right here. Might actually TP back top as well. Actually, no, Jin's going to be...
So Jin's back. His wave should be stacked against him.
Yeah.
So even if he backs here, he's going to come back to like a full wave. Right?
Yeah,
He's going to come back to the
play.
CS. So bot lane, while they had pretty good harass from Joker level 1, I was kind of surprised that Okisaki didn't go for more aggressive play level 1 because Xayah actually out damages Vayne as long as Xayah's W, which she did start. She started W, so there's really no reason to not look for that play because with lethal tempo and the attack speed steroid off of W, it's just so much attack speed.
I think they're just playing a bit safer around Applause because Applause was really low in the start of that fight before. Oh, and like right there, the Black Shield not going to be hitting back into those rocks anytime soon.
Yeah, and in this lane, I mean, all Experiment 66 needs to do is just max W and prevent...
Jennings going to engage out to Toxic right now.
Oh, look at that damage.
God,
and
already.
imagine that if he was level 6 and he has the additional proc on it. Oh my, it's just so much damage.
Not just that, when he has, what's that item you were talking about?
Spear Shojin?
Yeah, Spear Shojin. The fact that he just jump like constantly, right? Because
after you all, there's just... Like,
jump, stun, just everything just comes back.
Yeah, just so quickly. The 2 longsword tells me that Jin might even be looking to go for like a Blade of the Rune King rush. Try and get that slow because
here comes the engage on the Toxic right now. He's gonna get the stun off too. Actually, no, never mind. Just right on the edge. If he actually didn't
proc it a little bit sooner,
or didn't auto, he would have gone. And Jin just going back to Toxic once again. Toxic not level 6 yet. Won't be able to
will be forced
stay
to
alive.
back in TP here. However, Jin actually already TP'd. I didn't even notice that. So.
You do see Alistar.
Good damage on Alistar though. Oh, actually, Toxic chose to stay. Trying to get some damage down.
Yeah, like Toxic does, Kayle does have a heal, so Kayle does have the potential to stay in lane a bit longer.
It is mana intensive, but if you can save the mana for it, absolutely. Jax is 6 now though, so he's looking for that play. Toxic does not have 6 yet.
Cryogenic though is moving onto top lane right now though, might be looking for a gank.
Yeah, and both flashes are available in this top lane as well, so Jin's itching to look for the play, and Cryo knows this too. That's why she's looking for this attempt up here.
Yep, there is Cryo right there. Cryo sitting in Tri-Bush. The engage might happen. Jin coming in for the kill, but here he comes Cryo right here. Oh, but here comes the stun though. Oh, but the Alpha Strike actually finishes him off right before then. Jin doing the very cocky play.
And that must be the communication coming in from Toxic saying, man, this guy, he's looking for blood. Come up here, it's a free kill.
Yeah. Definitely want to say that Jin is definitely playing a bit more cockier in this game than he was playing. I mean, because with the Darius, like, he could handle a gank or two. But I think with Jax, especially pre-level, not pre-level 6, but like pre-items, I feel like he should have been more careful.
But especially going for the Tiamat rush. A lot of Jaxes used to rush Tiamat. It's not as popular anymore, but if you really want to shove the wave in, it works well. I don't personally like the Tiamat rush here because I think in this lane, you want to try and deny Kayle as much CS as possible. That's a good pickup on the on that first Infernal Dragon there.
Did you see TP though coming for the Kayle? Oh, Applause actually doing a great flash right there. Here comes the Forgiven though flashing and getting that knockup. But all 5 members of what is it, Arcane, are
Arcane,
here. Okazaki will fall to Joker right there. Good, what is it? Good communication by Arcane giving Joker that kill. Yeah, Experiment is here though to maybe reduce the amount of damage happening here. But that is a TP from the Kayle, which means Jin's going to get a lot of these plates top lane.
Yeah, and that's the only thing I was just about to mention is Xayah actually has TP, so she's going to TP back into this lane and not lose too horrible much over it. Yes, they lost. Xayah did die in that play, giving a kill over to Vayne, which is not ideal. But you have 2 plates picked up by Jin, and if you look at the gold difference here, that gave him a 400 lead. And yes, the assists from Kayle are definitely helping her keep up a little bit. But Jax is up like 30 CS with 2 plates. He's gonna go back with 1K gold on him, and probably look to now start building towards that fade. So he wants another 200 gold. He's unfortunately gonna have to buy it. I'm probably gonna go for the longsword, ruby crystal, and boots. He's probably gonna want to pick up the tier 1 boots here.
What item is Kayle
just going for the Sheen right away, actually. This is another option, too, because all he can do now is just do the auto, and now when he jumps to get the proc off, not only is going to be empowered from his ultimate passive, but the Sheen proc's going to go on as well. So we're going to see him start chunking Kayle, who is most likely here looking to either go with the Gwynsu's or Nashor's Rush.
Oh, I see. What's the tier for, though? Is she going to go with Manamune?
Yeah, she'll eventually build the Manamune.
Okay,
yeah.
I see.
Yeah. So we have Yi here, who doesn't quite have his jungle item completed either. Going for that Is it Blood Razor? I believe it's Blood Razor. They always change the name of the attack speed item for the jungle.
I see. I don't know about that.
Remember back in the day they had the Feral Lantern?
I remember that one. But
Look at that damage!
Jin, though, is going again. Does get the. But we do see Cryogenics actually just knowing that Jin's really cocky, going to be going on top of him. But we do see Bertan right here, though, going to be getting that re-engage on. Does not going to knock him on the Cryogenics, though.
Could have probably looked for that play, to be honest. Could have just ulted that. Because they should have known that Toxic didn't have ultimate available for that fight. He used it in the bot lane after he TP'd.
I think they're not very I don't think they know much about the cooldown for it yet, so maybe they're kind of confused. Like, oh, maybe he does have it. Maybe we shouldn't like engage too hard on it.
Very possible. It is quite a decent cooldown. It is a decent vulnerability. And actually, Burton's staying up here, and there's the play.
Oh, and there's the flash
the
though.
Flash.
Yep, definitely great play right there.
Yeah, the lack of flash is going to be huge for Jin in this lane, especially as it goes on. The second Jax builds some movement speed and can keep up with the Kayle even after she tries to get away, that's really when the lane gets dominated and taken over, right? That's why it's not terrible to go for like a Blade of the Ruin King rush. It's not an item you see as typically.
Oh, we do see the
double
snare going. Oh, the
lineup.
double snare going to Forgiven though. Forgiven getting really low right here. Jin gonna be does try to re-engage, but Toxic does back up just a bit. I do want to say too for the mid lane, they're playing a boring lane, but that's because they're playing like
that's
champion.
what they wanted.
Yeah, that's what they wanted.
That's what TIA wanted out of this is take a laner who can shove as hard as Talia can.
Jin gonna be re-engaging again. Here comes the ult though. Gonna get that stun. The Toxic gonna be taking it really low. Jin gonna be getting the kill right before Cryogenics might be finishing him off right here. Jin trying to wait for that cooldown though for his slow. But here comes the slash and dash and the red buff finish him off.
Yeah, he doesn't have the cooldown yet to deal with that sort of play. Can't do the 1v2. Once he gets a Spear Trojan, that play is just his. He can do that 1v2 so easily because his counter strike comes off cooldown so quickly.
But props to Cryogenics though, like covering for her top laner whenever she can. Like she knows Jin is cocky, so she uses that kind of like with Huni.
Identifying like where the power points of the team are, like coming out of game 2, you know Arcane was saying that okay, we know where we need to put our attention. It is on Jin. If we can shut down Jin, that closes out their composition so much. And you can tell that in the way they drafted. They picked this passive mid laner who prevents Doya from roaming, which they did.
Applause! They're getting a really good engage onto.
Do you love it?
Do you love it? But do you love it? Yeah, do you love it? Does have to flash away.
Good roam though. They're forcing the flash. Yes, Experiment blew the flash.
Oh, we see Forgiven getting that hex flash in there, but not really seeing any potential.
Yeah, the Kayle getting that mana moon, finishing it up before going for the attack speed item. Oh, gets a slow, prevents the jump. A little bit of an early counter strike coming out of Jin there.
Oh, I believe that the splash from her E can actually proc Manamune. Actually, no, never mind. It only procs and cooldown. Okay, never mind. I thought it always procs. I didn't know there was a cooldown on it. That'd been so broken. Jin though definitely has the potential to just engage into Toxic right now, but I forgot that Kayle also has execute damage with her E.
Yeah, also keep in mind is she also has those enhanced boots. A little bit more movement speed helps with the kiteability. If Kayle ends a slow, it is pretty hard for Jax to actually...
going in right there. Toxic getting a ton of damage done to him. Toxic might have to... Doesn't even have ult.
There it is.
Will get finished off by Jin without much damage onto him.
Yeah, and like that's what I was talking about. Is like if you can stay on Kayle, it's just so done. Experiment 66 actually getting dropped pretty low here, but man, look at this plate damage coming in.
I do want to say though that I do love that Experiment's playing Morgana, meaning because he's just playing it nice and safe, not risking too much. Late game he's going to, and late game like we're not going to have a super strong.
Look, Jax forced channel real quick. 2K gold lead in the top lane.
Yeah, 2K.
That's so much at 13:45 in.
I think now he has the potential to actually 1v2 now.
Yeah,
Kayle
100%.
and the Master E.
He's sitting on 2.3K. He can't quite buy Tried just yet, so he's probably gonna look to pick up components for it, and he's probably gonna go for Merc Treads, to be honest, to try and mitigate some of that slow coming out of Kayle, as well as the damage coming out of Do You Love It, who is going to be doing a lot of damage, has 138 CS, definitely farming very efficiently and doing very well, almost as perfect CS actually.
Yeah, and I actually like even from before too, when even though he died first, Kayle, like he was still even out in gold with Kayle when she TP'd bot lane, and now he's just and now it's like 2K deficit between the two. So definitely putting in the work. of a top laner,
Yeah,
lane carry.
absolutely, and he just wants to carry this lead forward. He didn't. So he actually, I forgot. He was sitting on dagger. He did have enough for Triforce. Without the dagger, he would not have. He just barely had enough to secure that. And now from here, he just gets Merc Treads and Spear Shojin.
We did talk about you did talk about this before too. The J4 is building tanky.
Yes, which I'm really glad to see.
So because like we already see like they already have damage. It's kind of like with last game. Jin was playing the Darius, but we had a the jungler was. Well, it was a carry. I forgot who the carry was, but now it's a switch. Now Jin is the carry, and now we have the jungler who could have built more damage.
Right.
But why would you do that when we already have 4 carries on the team?
No, exactly.
So I love that decision making. It's like, yeah, we should.
Yeah. Gets a Ninja Tabby. Knows he's going to be eating Joker autos. Knows he's going to be eating Yi autos a lot. The problem with building tank, unfortunately, is that it's Vayne. And it's so hard to actually efficiently build anything into Vayne. Because once Vayne gets... Sorry, Blade of the Rune King and Gwynsos. I don't know what did I say earlier. Shiv and Gwynsos? Oh, that's ridiculous. Blade of the Rune King and Gwynsos. She's going to melt through J4 basically no matter what he has built, right? So he does need to get like a Thornmail. Thornmail is really ideal here because you're going to be eating Yi and Vayne autos. You're getting that heal reduction is going to be really, really big. And ideally, you can even look for like a Righteous Glory. It's not going to help you live that much longer, but it is going to help you set up the plays to help line things up for Applause and Okitaki. Then looking for those binding plays, looking for those Featherstorm plays. Those are going to be the really big factors. And let's also remember that this is a Glacial Augment Morgana, right? So she already has a GLP. She's going to be building Twin Shadows next. It's all about utility with its composition. It's all about
slowing them down,
4v5, letting Jax split, letting Jax win a 1v2 situation. The only time Jax has to worry is if he uses Counter-Strike and then Vayne shows up. That's like the only thing to really worry about. And if he has Spear Shojin, Counter-Strike's going to be up in like 2 seconds anyway.
Cryogenic actually waiting and hiding in bots. Oh, but we do see that Skyward going to see him at bot side right there. Experience 66 is also hovering around Baron Dragon right now.
So this lane swap is actually really, really smart out of Arcane. TIA actually want to negate this by doing a lane swap of their own. You don't want...
Oh, Jin just half held Joker right there.
Yeah, you don't want Jin to be in the situation. He can deal with it, but it's risky. You want him to be free farming. You want him to be matching Toxic Drag. You don't want to let Toxic Drag farm. I mean, theoretically, if Lux lands a binding, Toxic should die. That's how the situation works. Ooh, good sidestep there, though. But right now, they're just going to try and whittle this tower down. Even quite a bit of damage.
Oh, here comes the ult though coming down from Do You Love It? Do You Love It gonna be engaging right now onto Applause. Here comes the feathers. No damage right there. The Toxic gonna finish off Okazaki right there. Applause might be finished off with the execute damage from the E. Yep, or just a couple of the AOE autos. Great play from Do You Love It?
Yeah, Xayah holding this flash a little bit too long. Should have flashed immediately, even before using Featherstorm. That was super greedy. If Okazaki had flashed first and then could have set up Featherstorm for himself to get out if need be, he could have waited out the just Judgment from coming out of kill.
Ooh, Bertang gonna be caught out right here. Gonna be chased down by Toxic. Toxic gonna slow him down once again. Gonna be shredding out that armor and MR. Again, they're just holding their flashes way too long.
Way too long. Lots of disrespect coming in. However, Rift is thrown topside. Oh, no.
A lot of damage though. Jin gonna be engaged by a lot of members here from Arcane. Almost finishing. Oh, it does finish off Cryogenic before falling down. Great play. Although that Rift Herald was a bit too early, I want to say.
Yeah, they didn't have vision of Van Alley. They should have known to be topside. But like you mentioned, like a lot of greed in the bottom half of the map. You're holding the flashes from both Burden and Okazaki. Could have been very different if they hadn't held onto the summoner spells there. Could have been like gotten out of those plays, possibly even looked to turn around or something like that. And the big difference is if they live there and continue to put pressure, that play top lane goes differently because you don't have 3 people sitting top lane. You have people responding to mid lane and bot lane.
Yeah.
So definitely, Shalia still managing to find roams despite the pressure being put down by Experiment 626 on these waves. We haven't yet seen him be involved in these fights yet, which I'm looking forward to. He does know how that stopwatch. He can look for aggressive plays with the GLP, even flashing in, looking for those plays. He hasn't TP'd yet either. I think there were a lot of opportunities for him to TP to some of these fights, either top lane or bot lane.
Inferno is showing right now as well.
As the Inferno does spawn, you're definitely going to see TIA focusing this down very quickly. It's to their favor. Jax So I'm just waiting
Jax
to
is,
see if
Jax is
J4 is
pushing
going
mid
for it.
lane.
Yeah.
He can easily break down that tower if he just keeps pushing it. And there he is.
There's
He's
the
hitting that
Dark
tower.
Blinding.
Honestly, this is a good play right now because they're at a position where they can't actually go mid
Yeah,
unless
they're
they
losing
start a
mid for
fight.
free here.
Great positioning too by
Yeah,
by the
breaking
rest.
mid is so much more important than losing that top lane.
He's
outer
hitting the
tower.
second one right now as well.
Like,
Like,
do you love it now trying to match him? But that means that this is a free dragon, like uncontested.
great play. And Toxic Drag still, he has CP, but oh, now he's TPing. Now he's actually TPing into around Dragon Pit right here. Experience 626, trying Amanda engaged on by Joker. Joker doing some damage right here as well. We do see an engage going on to Experience 66 and to Bertan. Okizaki being finished off by Vayne right there. Oh, but we see Jin now kind of strong right here, finishing out Do You Love It pretty quickly. But although that's going to be a 4-for-1 trade, or no, 3-for-1. Sorry.
Yeah, 3-for-1 trade with the Infernal. They're going over to TIA. So Jax doesn't have Spirit Charge in that game. Oh nope, it is going to be a 4-for-1.
Bertan is going to be finished. Although here comes Jin. Oh, gonna be trying to go into against on Joker, but he's not going to be able to finish him in time, and probably can't even get Forgiven as
Oh,
well.
a lot of damage coming out of Joker.
Forgiven does have to actually. Forgiven didn't flash
So
away.
that's a
He had Hex.
5-for-1.
Yeah, that was not at all.
And
what
now the
they
gold
needed.
lead swinging heavily into the favor of Arcane.
I think they're overestimating their damage right now.
Yeah, they need items. If Jax had, again, it's all about that Spirit Shojin wait out.
I will say though they have double Infernal, so that will help later in the game.
100%. You know, as the game goes on, you are going to see this Infernal coming back tenfold. You know, again, you have that Jackson side lane with double Infernal. You cannot stop that with Kale Yi. It's not going to happen. Again, the only person who can reliably, I guess there's two now, only people who can reliably shut down Jax are the Vayne and Talia. If you don't have Counter-Strike up, you're easy pickings for Vayne, and Talia is going to do a lot of damage to you regardless, and the good kiteability between them. So the problem is, though, is that if you have to pull Vayne to deal with the Jax, you should be demolishing these team fights, whether it's 4v4, 3v4, whatever is in mid lane, between this heavy CC composition of J4 Morgana Lux with this powerhouse double Infernal Xayah.
I think though that now Jin looks like he's focused on more split pushing, especially now that they know that Toxic does not have TP.
What in the world?
Looks like Rift Herald is now going to be the main focus.
Baron, yep.
Oh, is that Baron?
Yeah,
Oh, that is Baron. Okay.
Yep. There's 22 minutes in now.
Although no one has Mountain Drag, so I don't really know why they're really hovering around it.
I think they're more worried. Like, both teams actually have very good Baron clear times between the Jax Xayah and the Yi Vayne. Both do good amounts of damage to the Baron. Actually, the Yi Vayne being a little more favored, and they have the tempo in the game as well.
Yeah, Toxic is backing right now though to try and match Jin. Actually, looks like Joker is kind of thinking maybe he should as well. Jin gonna be pushing that in.
Jin's just sitting in the bush waiting to see who shows up, because they know that Vayne and Talia are mid lane, which means Jax doesn't care about anyone else. Whoever else shows up is easy pickings. The second Kale walks past this minion wave, Jax is going to engage hard.
Yep, there it is. He's getting right now. Okazaki getting pulled back though by Talia. Here comes the stun. And here comes the invulnerability does disappear, and there comes the shutdown for Jin.
Like I said, the second she walked by, you knew it was going to happen.
But nobody. Look, they're trying to rotate right now, but they also know that they can't let things fly by here at mid lane. Okazaki pretty low right here.
That's the one benefiting factor they have, is Okazaki is so low.
Yeah.
So they can rotate without a fear of Baron being thrown away.
Forgiven just not caring about his hex flashes at all. Just keeps trying to find an engage whenever he can. That's the scary part about Alistar. Is like
Spear Shojin now being completed by Jax. That's a huge turning point. However, we also have 2-item Vayne, which is a huge power spike for Arcane. So here's where the game really is going to start showing up. We have the Muramana being completed on Toxic Drag, so he is strong, but he can't do anything to Jax. It's just a built-in counter. So very curious to see how they play this. Again, the last pick being held for cryogenics on this E, which is super interesting. It is 2-1-3, so it does have some gold in her pocket, but there's nothing for her to look on objectively yet. There's so much CC between the Morgana and Lux and the J4. Arcane has to be really smart how they play it. Yes, they have a 2.5k gold lead, but you have this monsters Jax who has Spirit Charge and Triforce you have to be really heavily aware of. And now we even have Burton sitting around saying, you know what, they're gonna focus Jax. I'm just gonna wait around here to see which 2 to 3 members are gonna show up, because they still win any 2v3.
Definitely. I do also like right now Jin's actually, it looks like he's trying to bait them in, because he does have Burton right here with him. Looks like they're gonna go for a 2v2 right here. And here comes the engage, and there goes the flash for Do You Love It? And Experiment 66 does also have to burn his TP for that small engage.
40 seconds on the next Mountain Drake too, so they're all posturing down here for that reason.
Yeah, great. That was actually a great play because now they're all here. They can definitely start a fight.
Sweeper's not yet available yet for Applause, which actually means they have to give up this pressure to Arcane.
Yeah, it looks like they're. Oh, it looks like Jin though is gonna be going to Do You Love It right here. Do You Love It gonna be trying to. Oh, all 5 members though right now on a Jin. Jin trying to escape as much as he can. He's gonna get stunned though. He's gonna get put on the wall. He's gonna get that stun in though. Won't be able to finish anybody off. But mid tower though, mid lane is gonna get a pile drived right here. Ults have already been casted by most members of Arcane. Yeah, most of them. Only Forgiven is the only one with ult left.
Yeah, will be a Mountain Drake to the side of Arcane, though, which is pretty dangerous. They already had the Baron favored composition, so having a Mountain Drake means that he can almost solo Baron. Like he has a lifesteal out of Blade of the Ruined King. He might already be able to solo it, but I think if he goes back and just buys another Vampiric Scepter, you can sell it later on. It lets you solo the Baron. A lot of things that some of the higher level Yis tend to do, they'll either convert it into a QSS. Into a Mercurial Scimitar, or they'll sell it for like a GA or something later on.
But I like what Jin's doing right now because he's kind of playing how Darshan usually plays, where he loses lane but he wins game.
The pick on Applause!
The pick on Applause was great with that. But here comes Experience 66 with that ult coming in.
Jin,
But not getting anyone. Not one coming in.
No, this is done. So Jin just gonna take over this fight.
Jin, here he comes, coming in. Gonna be shredding down HPs right now. Gonna be trying to chase down Toxic right here. Gonna be jumping on him, finishing it off. Cryogenic switching targets left and right. And here comes Jin though. Jin,
Spear
this guy's coming in, getting the quadra kill. Gonna be chasing down Forgiven right now. Jin, Forgiven might try to get him away. But he goes the penta kill. And we got Jin with the penta kill. And the crowd goes wild. Come on, go more wild, people. Come on.
Go more wild. No, that's what we're talking about. That's why I was saying the Spear Shojin. The second Vayne died, it was Jin's fight to clean up. That's the only threat they have onto Jin. So the fact that we saw Jin come around with the TP play from the ward position there above the mid river brush, that as soon as the counter-strike landed on Vayne, that fight was done.
It's crazy too because there's more vision coming from Arcane in both rivers compared to TIA, but still that one ward was able to just change that whole fight entirely.
And it all came down to Joker being the target selection. Very good play out of TIA there. But man, that's Styrax now. Now he's got Styrax. Now he's tanky too.
Hey, that's also the god Jax skin. That makes sense.
This is why I've been spamming Jackson like jungle too. Because the same idea. Spear Shojin is such a disgusting item. We saw him counter-strike 5 times in a single team fight. That's ridiculous.
That was 5? Jesus.
Yeah, that was 5 counter-strikes.
I wasn't counting because my brain went dead after a while.
The amount of what Spear Shojin does for champions like Jax, Renekton, Fiora is just ridiculous because they get to
there's the root though. Is there any follow-up? Do you love it? It's going to take a lot of damage right here. Experience 6 do you love it? Pretty low. There might be a Luxel coming in. It's actually the kill goes. But actually Cryogenics might be finishing off this Baron right here. Not really much knowledge about that.
No vision on it. Yeah. Good call by Arcane, to be honest. Like that was a very cheeky Baron that worked.
Jin is though going to be getting this bot second tier tower though. We do have the engage though. Onto the Yi can't escape. We do have a 1v2 might be happening bot lane as well. Experience 66 getting the kill on the Cryogenics.
No, see, this is the thing. Jin will not look for a fight if Joker is there.
Yeah,
unless he can find the pick onto Joker, he knows it's too dangerous. Because if his counter-strike goes down and he's not able to get autos off for the Spear Shojin, Vayne will clean him up.
Yeah.
So he's playing this very, very smart.
He does have what is it?
Styrax?
Yeah, Styrax. He does have Styrax though, so that will keep him more alive in these fights as well. Styrax on him is an amazing item because it just keeps him alive.
Absolutely. This Baron buff, definitely having to be mindful of the Baron buff now, but because they're always pushing into Arcane, Arcane's not going to be able to utilize this Baron buff to push objectives. Instead, they're going to use it to try and get some more farm. Again, now you have the Phantom Dancer on the Vayne. Ideally, I would have liked to have seen a QSS come out for the idea that for Joker, when you're playing this game, you have to understand that if you die, team fight is just over. If you die and Jin is still alive, you lose the team fight. That's just basically how these compositions work. Jax just doesn't care about Kayle or Yi. right? He can continue out and get the resets off. So Joker has to care about, I need to survive. And his whole team needs to be playing around, Joker needs to survive. It is right now, even though they have 3 hyper carries on their team, it is the Joker game.
Yeah, and that's that. And like that, I honestly thought that was the reason why they even have Kale on the field, because Kale was meant to keep members of his team alive. He shouldn't be ulting. Like he should. Like definitely, we should not be seeing any ults on Master E unless it's definitely 100% need. Like Joker is dead.
Right.
It's like okay,
exactly.
then we do need to switch targets and put it on cryogenics or do you love it for some of their own plays. But yeah, definitely all focuses should be on Joker right now. Forgiven should just be hovering the crap around his AD carry right now. He has exhaust ready as well, so the next fight. But do you love it though? Gonna be taking a lot of damage from all members right here. But the all coming from Toxic, gonna be saving him. Jin now actually engaging onto Joker and Forgiven, taking a lot of damage. Gonna be actually focusing onto Joker now, getting stunned. But it looks like Stopwatch gonna be onto Joker. Gonna be doing some of that. Oh, because not getting enough autos to get his resets in. But it looks like we do see Forgiven gonna be finished off right here. Joker gonna be doing some damage on Bertando. Bertando gonna be finished off for a double kill. But it looks and it looks like Experience 66 will be finishing off Toxic right there in that little fight. The only one left alive is Cryogenics, and do you love it?
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about is, Jax wins any other fight unless Vayne's there and he can stay on the Vayne. That was the one instance though, I said it earlier that, if Jin dies and Joker's alive.
Plaz is doing so much damage.
Take a tower, take a tower. Oh, there you go.
Do you love it? Just taking all this damage from the support. How does it feel? Okay, but inhibitor is going to be falling down. The second inhibitor will be falling down bot lane. I believe the focus should now be going around top.
Yeah, 100%. They're going to pick up this Ocean Drake on the way up, most likely. Actually, Okazaki just recalling here. They could have gone for the. Yep. Oh, never mind. There it is. There's the call.
I do also want to say though that there was a deficit in gold between TIA and Arcane, and it was going for Arcane most of the time.
Right.
But then after a couple the pentakill with Jin actually evened it out, and now that one fight now.
Look at that 4K gold lead.
Yeah, he is tremendously strong right now. He is a buff Jax. Just think of like imagine
Hulk Jax.
Just think of like Jax. Like imagine if he had a real weapon. Yeah, his muscles. Like he doesn't need a weapon. He starts punching you.
Wait, what skin is he using?
He's using God. He's using the God skin.
Oh, he's using the God staff.
Yeah, using the God staff.
Isn't that a weapon? Yeah, that's what I like. Is like Temple Jax. I love playing with Temple Jax because then he's like, imagine if I had a real weapon. And you have a real weapon.
I like what's the one when he's using like a big wooden plank with nails. Because I have that one.
Is that like Vandal?
Yeah, Vandal. That's
Vandal.
That's my favorite because I'm like, that's literally just a plank with nails.
Next Baron is up in a minute 45. Elder in 4:23. Definitely, if TIA finds this next Baron, they're going to look to close out the game pretty efficiently here. The side of Arcane doesn't have a ton of wave clear. They have Talia, but against Baron Main, it's really tough to deal with. So at this point, you're going to see TIA hover around this as a 4-man with Jax on top. I think this is a little bit dangerous. I think you could even have Jin still in the bot lane threatening to end the game if Arcane looks for the play. He only has to be cognizant of where Joker is. It's all about Joker and Jin. Depending on what abilities are used to kill the other, that's what determines these team fights right now. Twin Shadows is down for sure. Oh, here comes
but Burns might be shot down right before the fight even starts. Yep, he's going to be shot down by Toxic right now. We do have Okazaki also falling down by 2 Forgiven. Experiment 66 is going to be alone in this fight as well. Going to be shut down. That was a great play right there. The chase still goes on though. Cryogenics going to be snared though by Applause. Can't be slowed by that though. It's going to be continue going. Alpha Strike might be. Oh no, but here comes the second one.
Jax with TP.
Oh, with the TP though. Might try to finish the game right here. TP though from Toxic going to be going back to his own base. Jin going to be going on, knowing that Toxic does not have ult anymore. Jin going to be going on to Do You Love It as well, getting the double kill. Looks like he might be able to turn this around. Definitely. Does get killed for the ace, but also forces the rest of Arcane to recall, unable to actually go to Baron.
Yeah, unable to go to actually, they can still go to Baron. They have Vayne and Yi both up, so theoretically they still can. But he secured a Nexus turret.
Yeah.
And forced the TP out of Toxic.
And bot lane still has supers too. So Cryo might have to stay for a bit. Otherwise, they're gonna lose that last
they
Nexus
can
tower.
look for a 5-man Baron now, knowing that someone has to respond to the supers to the bot lane, and they're not going to have TP, right? Normally you'd have Toxic with TP, but it's no longer possible. That pick was super good out of Arcane, though. You know, they found the exact play they needed. However, the call to TP into the base is what helped them mitigate some of the differences in that fight.
Yeah. Looks like they're all trying to go around this Baron as well, because they do know, like, now that they're I don't know how to explain it, but like Jin is just making so many plays one after the other, and that one was just one of the best. He actually had to force recalls, get 2 kills, and stop Baron from immediately going to Arcane right there.
No, absolutely. Forcing the Zanyas out of Do You Love It. It'll be up shortly, but still, things to know in the short run. We do have that Amir Kirill Scimitar on Yi, and we do have that QSS on Vayne as well now, along with the Guardian's Angel. Oh, if they had the follow-up. Oh, there it is! The QSS force, that's huge for Joker.
So Joker might have to actually fall back here, although we do have
Jin going for that bot lane again. He's trying to force. He knows that even if Kale comes, it does not
Toxic
matter.
though, hovering between mid and bot, although we all know that Jin can 1v1 this easily without any trouble.
Oh, that wave clears gross.
Jin trying to see if he can actually re-engage onto her. But it looks like it also looks like Do You Love It's trying to see whether he also wants to go bot or Baron.
Baron does get started up.
Baron does get started up though. Jin going on top of Toxic right now. Here comes the wall. But we do have the stun coming in as well. Oh, but he will actually have to resurrect right here. Don't know if he'll actually be able to survive. But wait, what?
He died.
He died. Okay, I was like, it doesn't. There was no shutdown. I did not say anything.
This is super dangerous.
Oh, there was a double knock by Forgiven. We do have Burton too as well.
Oh no, he Featherstorm so early.
Yeah, Okazaki though, gonna try to do as much as he can, but the Master Yi's still alive. Cryogenics can go on to the back line right there. Pause all by himself as well. Baron gonna be going to Arcane. Nobody left alive except for Experiment 626.
They hesitated so much on that Baron call.
Experiment 6 still here though. I don't know why. He's gonna get.
I don't know.
He's gonna get aced right here.
Also, that there was a huge misplay by Okisaki. As soon as he Featherstorm, he recalled the feathers immediately and didn't snare anyone. That was huge in that fight. If they landed the Featherstorm and the combination onto Cryogenics, they may have been able to turn the fight around. But that might honestly just be the game right there. They can push into the mid here if they wanted. Pink's coming on to Elder, so they might recall knowing that Jax is up in 2 seconds. Rest of the roster up in about 10 seconds. But, I mean, if they really wanted to, they probably could have forced that. Choosing to back off or go for the percentage plays, not even taking top lane inhib. Still, Baron on their plates. Elder up next. If they secure the Elder, it's going to be pretty hard for TIA to respond.
I do want to say that I want to say that they should definitely wait until Jin gets TP so they can make another play like they did before.
Yeah, pull them and then look for the TP. However, one thing to note is that the TP timers are in sync between Jin and Toxic Drag because they used it for the same play. So their TPs are going to be up roughly around the same time. And also, Jax was full build. He can't get any stronger than he already was. He should probably at this point sell the Guardian's Angel and look for a different itemization. Honestly, even looking for QSS himself might not be a terrible idea. Actually, no, wait, there's nothing to QSS. Don't get QSS. I'm trolling. But he can look to get another defensive item if he really wanted. He could look to get like a Randuin's Omen, try and prevent some of those.
I would have rather go for an MR item because he is because every time he does die, it's because the 2 AP carries.
So my personal itemization of choice here would be if he got a Gunblade, because the one thing he's lacking right now
is healing or sustainability.
Not the healing. The healing
Jin
helps.
though is might be able to get Do You Love It right here.
This is too
again though, engaging onto both the AP carries doesn't have much anymore. Does finish off Toxic Drive though right before he might right before getting finished off right here.
That's not worth though.
That's
Trading
definitely not worth.
Jax for Kale here doesn't do anything for you. They can't defend 4v4 against the Yi and the Vayne anymore. Right, the only damage threat is Okisaki, and he's so far behind. It's full item Zaya, whereas full item Vayne. Only 4 items on the Zaya.
That's what I'm saying though. Is like they have a pick comp, but I'm not really seeing the picking in this game. Like
yeah, they're not really playing around the Morgana Lux. You're right.
Yeah, like they're not like they're playing more around Jin, which I understand he's very strong, but we're not seeing a lot of like we did see before where if either Applause or Experiment got a snare, then bam, they would like like super engaged on. Nobody engaged on do like I believe. Oh, Experience 66 does have to use that zoning right there, but can get it. Yep. Oh no, but good flash by
This is what
Experiment.
I'm saying though. They find bindings and there's no follow up.
Like at all. I mean, I understand that it is a fear. Like if you're not getting Joker, then there's really no point in truly engaging. But it's like you have to do something now. Like your base is getting broken apart. You I need Burton it just seems like he's just playing very like he is tanky. Like, but I don't really see him going really into some of these fights. Maybe it is just because they know they're not strong enough.
I think the biggest difference is that Okizaki is just lacking damage right now. He's again the 4 items. He's not looking. He has stopwatch, looking to build into a GA. But Jin, I think Jin is feeling the pressure of carry a little bit too much here. He's becoming too aggressive, looking for too many overzealous plays, right? Where it's like there's no need for you to look for that play. Play smart, look for the split push. You can't win against Kale anymore because Kale has Gunblade. This is what I'm talking about. If Jax were to sell Guardian's Angel and look for the Gunblade and have that active slow proc that would let him stay onto Kale, that would be a game changer.
You know, I think you should use Righteous Glory. I think you should.
Righteous Glory is okay, but the healing you get off of the AoE pairs so beautifully well with Spear of Shojin. I see no reason not to build it. Like you do so much AoE damage with all the counter strike string and everything.
Yeah.
It pairs so beautifully well, right? Like, do you really need the Guardian Angel there? Like, if your GA gets procced in any situation here, it means you're dying on respawn.
I mean, he has shown that even though the GA did proc, he almost did get the kill onto Do You Love It though. He has shown it. He has shown the
I think
potential.
the healing would be more. If they could triple in him, dude,
The pick on a Joker needs to happen soon, though. Otherwise, this inhibitor is gonna fall, and nobody's actually protecting the other Nexus turrets right now.
See, what the issue is though is that when you play around Twin Shadow, you look to line up the CC with it, and they're not doing that right now. You can see how scared they're playing here. So the GLP
here
goes
comes
in.
GLP though. Oh, he's gonna die right before anything really happens. No Toxic Drag. He's gonna be pulled into this ult right here. But Jin gonna be finishing out Do You Love It right before this 1v3 right here. He is gonna be resurrecting pretty soon, but nobody really able to stop this. He's gonna be engaged.
That's what I'm saying, right? That's exactly what I was talking about.
Okizaki all by himself now.
This is
And
GG
1v3 is gonna be jumped on by the Yi, and yeah, I believe that is potentially game.
Let's bring this next Super's bot wave here, and there it is.
Yep.
And there you have it. Looks like we do have Arcane moving on to the finals.
Yes.
University of Toledo coming in, showing in pretty hot. And I don't know. What would you say the biggest point of the game was? Was it more Arcane playing really well?
It was
the TIA trolling.
It was way too much, like too much of relying on Jin. There was way too many parts. I understand the TP play was amazing coming from Jin. He forced 2 backs, getting 2 kills, stopping them from getting the early Baron. But after that, it just kind of became. It looked more like a solo game at that, like a solo queue game at that point, where Jin looked like he was trying to bait somebody in to get the kill on, but good play by Do You Love It and going with Toxic in order to secure the kill onto Jin. Because
I just don't know why they didn't play around their CC combinations more, right? You had Twin Shadows, GLP, Morgana Binding, Lux Binding. You had 4 great combination setups. Whenever you look for the Twin Shadows, you should be having Lux. You should be communicating look for the binding here, look for the binding here. We saw it thrown like one by one by one. Binding would go
not
down.
stacked on top of each
Yeah,
other.
Lux would use binding, and then 3 seconds later, Twin Shadows would go down.
Yeah.
And then
Maybe there's a lack of communication.
Maybe 2 seconds later, Dark Binding goes down, can't find it because they weren't utilizing the slows off the Twin Shadows and GLP.
They were playing it more like a siege kind of comp where you just poke them out, you just poke them out
like
instead
zoning,
of
more like
actually,
zoning siege
instead
sort
of
of
just
thing.
going all out on one person, whoever they picked. They
Found a lot of bindings and off of Lux and Morgana, but there was never any follow-up.
Like last game, if you watched through it all, amazing amounts of you would just see applause once the snare came down, everybody just barraging on whoever the members were.
Right.
This one was more careful. Where I got the snare in, back up. Got the snare in, back up. But and damage chart though, yes, Jin and Toxic did so much damage in that game. But now but look at this though, we're seeing barely any damage coming from Applause that game. I mean, I understand she was a support, but she was also supposed to be the second AP carry. Okizaki definitely did his best.
There were some crucial misplays from Okizaki.
There were some misplays.
Baron was the big one.
Oh yeah, that ult was. I feel like that.
It wasn't
I feel
even
like
the ult. It was the E.
oh,
It was
the
when
E,
he
okay, I
recalled.
see.
When he
Yeah,
recalled,
yeah,
because he set up the Featherstorm,
Mhm.
but then he instantly E'd and didn't snare
Yeah.
anyone. He needs to wait for Yi to show himself.
I think in this game they should have played a more secure support, like or safer support, like
Even Zyra might have been nice there.
maybe because it was the fact that like you are playing Morgana and Lux who are good at snaring,
I feel
but
like
then
I think the composition was fine. I feel like it was just execution.
I do think it was fine, but Yi and Vayne are so hard to lock down. Like yes, if you do get the stuff on them, you should engage on them then. But the issue was that the only real engage that they had was J4, who was a tank, because Jhin was on the other side of the map. So even though they did put all their stuff on one person, they don't have like heavy frontline damage.
Yeah, but regardless, congratulations to Arcane, who even having this monsters Jax to deal with, they played it pretty well actually. They played. I mean, even Toxic Drag coming at the end, I really do think the Gunblade was like the breaking factor. If Jax had that slow proc, he could have kept up with like Kale. But once Kale got that active slow proc and was able to like kite and play back the whole time,
Yeah.
and the extra seconds, just you need a second or two of living a little bit longer before like the Talia damage comes down or something to blow up the Jax. I think those are like the crucial things.
Yeah.
But moving on to the next game. I mean,
Yeah. I do want to say too that the Alistar like did a lot of like great engage plays. I want to say that the Alistar this game was what Malphite should have been last game, but Malphite failed to do that. So,
Okay.
but this Alistar was what I was talking about before, where hey, he's coming in. If he knocks off even two of you, it's game over. So
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, like the first half of the game, I didn't like how Joker played a lot, but towards the second half, he started identifying that okay, I need to play way more passive. I have to be very careful how I show and where I show. And because like if he dies again, then you have fights we're gonna go. He bought the QSS, he bought the Guardian's Ninja, started playing a lot more passive, and they found victory pretty quickly after that. So definitely kudos to Arcane as we wait to hear on the results between Ashland University and Why Are You Running.
yep, I'm gonna go hit a fan so I can cool down.
All right, with that, we are going to take a break, ladies and gentlemen, while we wait for the other set to finish up. So thanks for watching. That pentakill was so hype, but outside of that, don't touch that.